Ba-da-bow-bow-bow. That's the mic check. Think I'm okay so far. Good. What is up, everyone? This is Coffee with Soul. I'm your host. We're going to chat. We're going to talk. We're going to learn something in approximately an hour and 25 minutes. Something's going to happen. What is it? Dun dun dun. And late last night I was doing work, and then when I was done, I was like, all right, cool, it's midnight. Let's hang my LED track light now, because I was just not tired at all. I was like, okay, I need something to do. I need something. So there's new lighting up. And now that I'm looking at myself on screen, I look like I'm on a green screen. This looks fake. Like tell me, chat, like, cuz I'm seeing like the unfiltered thing. Like, what do you guys see? Does this look like a fake background? Because to me, this looks like a fake background. As if I'm going to tear this down, and then you guys are going to discover I'm on the beach, or I'm like in a secret location, or something like that. So, it's not. It's just like, oh. These are way too bright. I need to. I ordered a dimmer already, because I was like, oh, this shit's really bright, to like bring it down by a bit. And so this is still a work in progress, but I kind of like how this looks. It just looks like I just look like I'm fake, you know, and I'm going to tear the whole thing down. It's going to be hella fun. Anyway, hi everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's say hi to people. Starting off with Electric Light. You're the first person to say hi. You get a point. Grats. What's up to Elrithier, to Kaon, to Neeb and Boomer, to Kenny B, to Blowtharx, or Blowtharx, to Goose and Tweedren, to Elrithier again, I think, to Creator and Fletcher, to Cypher, how do I read that one? Cypher of Lorenicus. I don't think I did a good job there. What's up to Puddle, to Flan? Hope you guys are doing all right. And yay, something's gonna happen. People are talking about it. I'm talking about it. Yeah. So, is there a new studio? Oh, right here? Yes. So, I moved a little while back, so like a month and some ago. And then I've been slowly building up the new stage, getting, you know, furniture stuff, like, wow, look at my things. You know, I'm standing up, I'm on a standing desk, I got like these cool little contraptions, and then I just recently got, you know, it's been a big work in progress, and, you know, just doing like finishing touches. Like, if I was actually tall, I would reach out and light up like that corner over there, because that's too dark, but I mean, you're not gonna notice when I go into like game anyway, so that's like not a big deal. The outfit's crazy. Oh, this is actually old. This is an old track jacket thing from the Blizzard store. So it's nothing special. It's just not around anymore. But it's like one of my favorite things. You just don't see me wear it very often. But I did, but like a dork, I did also wear this to the at Boston when I was at the 30th anniversary thing. And so I just felt like wearing it now. Or maybe there's a purpose behind it. No, I'm just kidding. But how do I know something's going to happen? Cool, because Taliesin said something's going to happen. Like, he put out a tweet. He said, oh, something's going to happen at 6 BST. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's around 10 o'clock. That's usually the thing. So I'm like, fucking let's hype this shit up, right? Is the news hype or not? I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out. That's not my question. My question is, how do I know something's gonna happen? Well, like I said, Taliesin said, and I believe Taliesin. So, Rune was great. Thank you. Yay! Blothar is fine. I like Blowtharx. It's all good. Am I IRL preparing for player housing? Oh, I like that. I mean, problem is that this costs IRL money. That's kind of a problem. Legion Remix, let's go. I'm stoked for the Legion Remix. I mean, we all learned the same things together on Friday. You know, we all learned that stuff from the what was it? Like the little gathering? No, not gathering. The little sit down panel. There we go. Panel. I was there. I was up front. Is it a green screen? I love that. I'm gonna love suffering through this question. Am I really here? Am I actually at Blizzard headquarters and stuff? Is this gonna like suddenly come down and then I'm gonna back up and sit into that chair that Linksy sits in? I'll be like, hey, what's up everyone? This is Soul, and I'm here sitting down with da here to talk about pole dancing. No, this is not a green screen. It's just really bright. Light of judgment. Yeah. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to get. I should have a dimmer switch arrive, and then I can bring that down a little bit so it doesn't pop as much. But I don't mind either. I mean, this is fun and goofy. Whatever. You know, I'll deal with it. So. Is this the real Soul? I'll just rip off the mask, and then you'll realize, oh my god, it's been Bob the whole time. Saul, what news are we expecting, and from whom? I don't know. You just got into chat. Well, something's gonna happen at 10. There are multiple folks on socials who are saying, hey, something's going to happen at 10. I just happen to do it because I like throwing shit into the fire. Maybe I'm just a pretender and I just want to feel like I'm sharing in the energy, you know? I like the gray and black though, it looks comfy. No, I like it too. At first I was really scared because, funny enough, the colors don't really come out right when I do recordings. So I'm like, oh, I need some lighting. So I tried like that light over there. I'm like, okay, this doesn't really like help as much. I need like, you know, better track lighting. But I didn't want to do that because I'm like, I don't want to drill into stuff. That's hard. But it's not that hard. I'm just a lazy sack of shit. But yeah, I just whipped it together really quick. Hung it last night. It took about 10 minutes. It wasn't a total disaster. And I just, you know, and it's not like, you know, it's not like I did like wiring or anything like that. It's one of those plug-in track lights. So I just have the wire going across down the side there into a plug, and like that's it. So I need a plant. You know, I've been saying that. I was telling my wife, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna let you get me a plant. The news is Blizzard's gonna raise WoW subs. Oh God. Ugh. I mean, at 10 o'clock, I'm going to be sifting around for, like, you know, whatever official news post that they have and see what other new information that we learn. But yeah, we'll see what happens. And a fireplace and a brick and a leather chair. Yeah, it all just comes down. Hi everyone. You know, with the fireplace, I'm gonna have like another full cup of coffee or whatever. I'll have like this fantastic large portrait of Bob, who is also sitting in the same orientation as I am. Oh, that would be epic. It's like I've already thought of this, but that would be pretty awesome. That'd be pretty sick. I would love for Player Housing to have that someday. Like actual user-generated content where you can take like screenshots and what have you. But you know what would happen? You know what would happen? We would have a situation where, as much as Blizzard would try to control it, someone's gonna be like, all right, guys, like get together, and then you bend over like that, you get in the middle of that animation, and then boom, sex move. Hell yeah. Honestly, let's do a guessing bingo. I'm calling console WoW. You know, I'm still a skeptic on that. I'm still not here. Let me go to enough of me. Yeah, I'm still a skeptic on console WoW. I feel like I feel like what's going on with this whole one button thing, I feel like it's being overblown a bit to be like, oh my God, this is what it means. It's a step towards it. I wouldn't argue that. But I also feel like there's got to be a lot more steps that need to happen before it seems like a feasible thing. Yes, we're definitely going to have like WoW on console. But you're starting to see the planets line up. So I'm not ready to say, no, it's never going to happen, because Blizzard has never said, no, it's never going to happen. It's just like, we don't have any plans right now. We hear ya, yada, yada, yada. And you know, eventually they're going to say it. And then the people who have been like really diehard, like believers, like, oh, I told you so. It only took 26 years, but I told you it was going to happen. Like, yeah, okay, that's sure. You're right, buddy. WoW on Switch 2 confirmed. How would that work? Well, I guess that would work kind of the same way as how it would work on like a Steam Deck device, something like that. But still, you would still need to cover so many things. Like, we would need to see like some really big shit happen, like official support for add-ons. Like, you would need to have something like that where basically CurseForge would go out of business, because WoW would manage. Okay, they wouldn't go out of business, but they'd be in trouble because WoW would need to manage like console-based add-ons and all that stuff. It'd be kind of crazy though. And we're doing roulette. Let's go. Let's do it. And we're doing squats. Oh, I totally missed the squats. Sorry about that. So we'll do some squats after we change into something more dapper. So here's what we got right now. And now, that's not. It's bad, but that's not the most terrible thing I've seen. Interesting. All right, let me do some squats real quick. All right. Who am I saying hi to? What's up to Cowbird Chuck? Is there an official post for the news announcement? I don't know. No, it doesn't seem like it. Let's see, I'm guessing the canceled Blizzard Survivor game has been integrated into WoW in a new seasonal game mode a la Plunder Storm. Oh, that'd be sick. That'd be sick. I mean, now that we've seen, you know, with them revealing player housing and how far along it's come, it's not unreasonable to say that they are capable of keeping a secret. They're quite capable of holding back and not revealing stuff and not letting anyone know what's going on until it's like boom, and then it's like, oh my god. So we're either getting an 11.2 reveal or a big housing preview today. That's what I would expect. Both sound reasonable. I mean, it hasn't been that long since a housing I'm out of shape here. Since we've had a housing blog post. It's only been like a couple weeks. And also 11.2, like we haven't even, we would typically want to see, you know, 11.17 launch first. So, I mean, maybe we'll get like a really far off preview of like, not exactly the patch reveal, but more like a system reveal. It's like, hey, this is a big change that's going to happen in 11.2 or something like that. You know, it'd be really big. Would be like, for them to say, oh, we're going to give you first and last names. I think that'd be huge. That'd be hella big. I don't know what my first and last name would be on my characters, but I think doing something like that would be like a very cool thing. And also one step towards like merging or coalescing servers even more than what they are now. But that's just kind of me pulling shit out of my ass. So, but I said I was lazy. I'm very lazy. Yeah. I'm just playing WoW. I just fell off with all the bad patches over the years and born World Quest. I wish they would revamp World Quest or remove them. I mean, the cool thing is like you could just not do them too. It's crazy low fat. Like these days, I don't know how long it's been since you've quit, but WoW is just full of, you know, options, things to do, you know, and if there are things that don't interest you, just don't do it. You know, it's not like Shadowlands days where it's like, oh, you don't want to do Torghast? All right, fine, no legendaries for you. Suck it, you know. Why do I think there's going to be something? Taliesin said so. That's really it. Run Final Fantasy remake at 60 FPS. Not sure why you would think it would run high. Oh, you're talking about the Switch 2? Really? Switch 2 would run Final Fantasy remake at 60? I still need to finish the first one. And now Goose is going to call me out. He's like, yeah, you do, bitch. Wasting my money and all that. 14 won't be able to run great on Switch 2. I don't see why not. Like, WoW can run on a potato. You know, can it run on, you know, I guess with 14, can it run you know, using the super high texture pack and all the different like modifications that people use? Maybe not. But can it run at like a console level? I am extremely confident that it can. But I don't think the graphics and performance, I don't think that's the reason why they aren't, why WoW isn't doing it. So, I want to do this stuff in WoW, but they're just rehashed bad design. I want to take part in the game and not leave out large parts of it because I can. I mean, you don't like World Quest though, so if you don't like World Quest, then, you know, there it goes. So, yes, you do, but I'm never calling you that. Hey, I will at least pat myself on the back and tell myself, okay, I remember. I'm a gem. Yeah, that's a way to say it. Did I move or get a new studio? A slightly complicated answer, but basically yes. So I moved back to my old place and I moved into a different room. So the room that you used to see me at, like years and years and years ago, if you watched me that long ago, now that's like the bedroom, and this is like a dedicated, like stage office kind of thing. So it's kind of cool having an actual work spot where I just don't like, you know, lean back and like go to bed or whatever. This is all office stuff. Okay, there's some junk lying around, but you know what I mean. Remake devs are not just putting the game over, they are actively continuing to develop the game to make sure it's optimized. The plan is also to release a rebirth on it too. How would you know you're not drinking coffee and not tea or water? Sus. That's a fair call out. Maybe I can, I don't know, can you watch as I pour this stuff out? Right? There's that. That's probably the best you get. Otherwise, you know, I drink my coffee black like the night. I'm still going through this Italian stuff, and then I'm gonna go back to my good old Trader Joe's French roast. I guess between Italian and French, you know, it's an either or thing. I think I can appreciate both. In the end, it's all dirt. Delicious, life-giving dirt, right? It is water for now. Coffee is a donation goal, so it can be blue screen. I love to have a dedicated. No, this is like the dream. Like this is like, not to say that I have lofty goals or whatever, but like this is like this is like nice to have. It's like, oh, it's cool to just have like this space. This is like the man cave or whatever. Ditch the caffeine. You can thank me later. I can't quit coffee every time. I often joke. I can quit any time, but if I do, I experience intense pain. So I'm not addicted to coffee. I'm not addicted to coffee. I just don't like pain. So big difference, man. Big difference. All right. Spoiler alert. I know exactly what's happening at 10. Okay, so anyway, that's all you get. That's all you get. I can quit every time. Oh yeah, dude. There's just consequences. And I'm not big on consequences. It's You're not corrupt, you just passed laws benefiting Company X after Company X gave you presents. Oh, like I've been bribed or something? Don't worry, we'll talk more on stuff in like an hour or so. Trust. Okay, so what am I doing? Oh, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to first check for, excuse me, check for my usual shield stuff. I feel lied to. No. Hope it's not housing. I kind of hope it is. Okay, now I'm just talking stupid now. Because, like, I know exactly what's going on. And now everything that I'm saying just sounds like bullshit. But too bad. So, too bad, so sad. Okay, so off to this guy. Phoenix, hey, what's up? Good to see you. Hey. How do you feel about the one-button rotation they discussed? Don't you feel it would be better to make the game easier and not make a one-button rotation? They seem to make the game for the 1%. No, not at all. I look at the one-button rotation as like the audience that would embrace something like this is strictly for like from an accessibility standpoint and nothing to do with, hey, let me just play the game like this instead because I'm feeling lazy. I don't see it that way at all. I mean, we'll disagree, and that's fair, that's fine, but I don't see it that way, even at like the tiniest, bit. But I also can't speak too much on it because I only play as a prop paladin, so I don't really have a good perspective to talk about, oh, well, the rotation is like this, and it's not that bad, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know shit about this game outside of tanking, right? So from a, I guess from a lazy standpoint, it's like, okay, cool. Now it'll make doing the typical rounds where I'm like, hey, let me get all my alts to like the new max level for the expansion. It's gonna make that experience a bit more pleasant because now I can just rely on the one button rotation and I don't have to learn anything. But that's me deciding to not learn anything because all I'm gonna do is get into max level so I can, you know, do like basic stuff. That's it. But I think it's a huge benefit for folks who have lost the capability to play that to play the way they want to, or never had the capability, and now they do. That's it. Because what is it right now? There's a 25% penalty to the global when you are using the one button thing. Yeah, that's the last thing I checked. Isn't the one button thing both anyway? You can play easy mode or play for play the rotation yourself. Yeah. So if you want to just chill and play like that, fine. Like, why is it my business how other people want to play? You know, because that's kind of the energy that I get from some of these folks who are like, well, it seems like they're dumbing down the game and they're making the player based on. I'm like, who cares what they do? You're not going to play with them anyway, are you? Nope. I watched Asmongold's take on it and it was a really good take a look. I think his takes are bad. Sorry. I think his take on it is, I don't like, okay, actually, let me walk that back. I didn't listen to what he said. But I believe he is terribly out of touch with the game these days. So it's not a take that's worth listening to. I'd rather just listen to regular folks and see what they think about it. I don't really care what someone else thinks for other people, if that makes sense. I just want to hear what people think. And yeah, in the end, my take is it's none of my business. If they want to play with one button, fine. If they want to, if they want to perform better and go manual, it's fine too. I was thinking some people want to use the one button rotation to learn their rotation if they don't want to go learn it from YouTube. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, it kind of sucks when you take a game like WoW and people feel compelled to be like, okay, let me learn how to play this class, and they go right to like the guys, they look at Wowhead, they look at Icy Veins, and look at what it is they have to say. I mean, I do it myself when I'm like, okay, let me get an idea of like what's going on, as opposed to not just the one button rotation, but also the assist that will, like, you know, highlight because people kind of forget about that too, the thing that highlights which button you can press. Instead, as long as you have it on your bars. You can honestly believe that the one game is created for the 1%. If that were the case, we wouldn't have zones and all the other stuff. No, the world stuff has nothing to do with the 1%. I'm talking about game difficulty and class design and rotation. Yeah, I don't get that. The whole 1% thing, like, what does that have to do with anybody? Like, if is that what Lofat says? The game is made for the 1%? Because then what is this one button thing? It's clearly not for the 1%, right? So I guess that's kind of confusing me. Does Asmongold have 0 button rotation and just gets carried? Yeah, I guess there's that too, right? You know, I recall stories of him just being like, "Hey guys, just get me through this," and people will, you know, they'll fall over themselves to like help him out, or give him gold or whatever he needs. And it's not limited to WoW either. In the past, I used to relevel a class just to learn a spec like Mistweaver back in WoD, because I only leveled up as BM. I know it's stupid, it will work. No, that's fine. That's how some people want to learn. That's how I like to learn too. It's like, okay, you know, when when we come back to WoW, or when we come back to a class or a spec like years later, and there's been like multiple revamps, it's like playing a brand new character. So it kind of feels disconnected when you try to get, like in this case, you try to get onto a level 70 character, and you have no idea what the buttons do. We moved from the talent rows to the talent trees again, and now there's like this hero talent thing to contend with, and not a lot of people have the patience to learn it from scratch again. Some people do, some people don't. Some people don't care because they're just like, all I care about is world content. Like, yo, I'm here for the player housing stuff, and that has nothing, and I'm just, you know, fuck the new stuff. I'm just gonna wait a few years until it's legacy mode and then farm old stuff by myself. And I just want to like smash buttons, right? That's fine. How is it any different from Heckley or Hickley? Hickley does better. It is more optimized. It's more optimized for performance, and a lot of it is because, you know, you have you know, the developer of that and similar add-ons who are like constantly like watching and updating and refining based on like balance and things like that. So yeah, so what's coming in 11.17 with this one button thing is worse than that. You know, if they were to shut down the add-on, that would be a totally different story, but then it doesn't sound like that's happening yet. This game is designed for people who play the game 24/7, not the average player. Oh, I super disagree with that these days, man. No way. Remember, Lofat, you've quit a while ago. I don't know when it was you quit, but the game is not made for that anymore. Not in the slightest. It's been a long time, buddy. Those days are over. Well, frankly, I never played like that anyway. But yeah, those days are distant past. Just like Asmongold, I recommend that you hop into the game for a bit. I don't know if there's still sales going on. I don't think there are. Hop into the game for a while. Give it a month, and you know, see if your experience matches like the predisposition or the preconceptions that you have. I'm in WoW for content and mounts. Yeah. You know, I'm here, you know, y'all know I do, what's it called? I do AOTC stuff. I'll do KSM. Like, I'll get it eventually. I'm close. Like, I'm not that far. I just got, like, what? Like, one of these two dungeons. I just got to do well, and then boom, KSM, and then I'm good. That's my dungeon experience for the season, right? You know, we've seen kind of the change in perspective where people were able to fairly easily, quote easily, get 2,500, 3,000, go beyond that. We see it on socials and all that stuff. I'm like, hey, that's great. I'm just gonna be here though. I don't feel pressure to like aim higher because someone's telling me, oh, it's easy now. I don't care. I only care about how I play. I don't care about how other people play. So, do I have any more details about the Legacy Loot Buff event coming up? Will it be more items or increased chance of mounts? I haven't seen details on it yet. I'm actually still playing catch up on stuff because I only got back from Boston the other day. And I still need to get caught up with like stuff that's upcoming. I still want to do like horrific vision guides. I am stupid behind on that, and I'm frightened as to whether I'll get stuff out on time. So I'm not doing nothing, by the way. I'm actually just camping to see like if the next rare that pops up here is the one that I want. So don't worry, I'm not just island. I'm here with purpose. Poipus. I would think people would rather the game skill ceiling stay high and lift up the low instead of bring down the high. Yeah, like I feel like it's going to bring the skill floor up, but at the same time, there's the question of whether those kinds of players will interact with everyone else in a similar way. And I don't think the overlap is going to be as big as some people think. You know, some people are like, oh, we need to make an add-on so we can detect people who are using the one button assist so we can prevent them from getting into groups. I have a feeling we're not going to see a lot of people hopping into that. I think the audience that really cares about that really doesn't give a shit. And the audience who does want to do a one button thing and do high level content, they're going to use add-ons because the add-ons will perform better. So those people who are like really against this one button thing, they should have been fighting this fight years ago. Years ago. But here they are now because it's the current news. That's it. That's really what it comes down to. When this patch goes out, no one's going to talk about this. No one's going to talk about this. It's just going to be out. People are going to have it. And it's like, okay, that's it. Hickley is not a one button rotation. It's a rotation helper. I thought it was. I thought it does have a one button. Hey man, the game is not like Shadowlands because Shadowlands made me quit WoW for 10 months. It's better now and more casual in a way. Sorry, I gotta get caught up with chat now. I at least want to read through. People who take others' achievements like a personal attack like KSM being easier says a lot about their maturity. WoW players are getting older now. Well, the ones that are played for 20 years. Shut up, man. Keep in mind, we all pay to play. Blizzard must cater to all. Yeah, I don't think there's much insistence that, hey, the game is catering to like the 1%, or it's only catering to the casuals. Like everyone gets their turn, and that's kind of like the horror of game dev, especially with a game like this. It's like we get a thing, you know, we get feature X. And the people who want feature X are like, yeah, fuck yeah, Blizzard, listen to us. But then everyone who didn't care about feature X and wanted feature Y instead, they're like, oh, clearly Blizzard doesn't play their game and they don't care about their audience and yada, yada, yada. We're seeing different people bitch about stuff. You know, we're always going to see a different audience bitch about something, unless they're bitching about everything and then they're just trolls. And it's like, why are you sticking around? Jeez. So, yeah, it's not going to change. But in the meantime, you know, at the end of the day, here we are at our screens and we can decide for ourselves, hey, do we want to just chill and vibe and have a good time, or are we going to care too much what other people do? When I was talking with some other creators at Boston, because that was a thing, we kind of reaffirmed to ourselves that even though we play this game and we talk this game up as part of our living, at the end of the day, it's still just a game. And at least we kind of reaffirm to ourselves that we can kind of like step back and disconnect from like the very emotional conversations, and not to say that they're irrational or that they're you know, people who come from that place like are crazy or whatever, because it's coming from an honest place. You know, when people feel like, oh, this feature shit or this story sucks and blah blah, you know, those are honest feelings, and we need to acknowledge that. But also at the end of the day, we can only like absorb so much of that, and we gotta, you know, we tend to like kind of put up a barrier and be like, hey, you know, we gotta step back and just relax. It's hard to tell people to just do that though. You know, I can't just tell someone, hey, you're really mad. Hey, chill. Calm down. No one likes to hear that, right? Well, I'm the minority here, but they should get rid of the penalty on the one button. It's not optimal anyways, and it isn't pressing major cooldowns. Let people make their own choice. I was saying the same thing too. I feel like the one button thing, that it's not going to be beneficial enough. And people won't notice. Even if they took off the penalty, they would still only be able to perform at a certain level. You know, it's not going to tell you what to do when you're trying to not stand in stuff and then restart your rotation, or redo your redo certain dots at this time, or make sure the pandemic thing is going because it's about to fall out. You know, it doesn't know all of that stuff, and those are huge usually. So Dells are still capped on Gilded Crest. Why? I agree with that. I think the cap should be lifted just like everything else. So I gave my takes, and I'll live with it. I don't think this bitch is gonna spawn. There's some. I at least want it to spawn once. Just spawn once. Give me a gauge of like what's coming next. I'm still confused how we went from Shadowlands to Dragonflight with no in between story. Time passed, Blothar. Time passed. The end of Shadowlands was, you know, the whole jailer thing. Blah, blah, blah. He gets sealed off. The Sylvanas thing was resolved. She gets yeeted into the maw, and then years pass. Years pass, and then years pass. Something happens on the Dragon Isles. Draftyrs start coming over. Say, hey, come over. That's the very quick and dirty version of what happened between Shadowlands and Dragonflight. Time skip. I bet an all-in-one button raid is gonna get AOTC. I don't doubt that. I mean, they'll probably need like really good gear and all that, but I don't doubt that. And who cares? Like, if that happens, so what? Good for them, right? What am I working towards at the moment in Zereth Mortis? There is a set of rares that drop in this specific location here. It could be one of 3, and one of them drops a shield. So camping this thing sucks. Really, really sucks. Does it consider buffs and debuffs? If not, it's just a really complex cast sequence macro. I don't think it's that complicated. Classes with complex rotations are not being performed correctly by the one button assist. Yeah, because it doesn't do major cooldowns. If I recall correctly, maybe y'all can correct me here. It does, like if you're a BM hunter, it will do Bestial Wrath, but I think that's it. It'll do like really short cooldowns too, like Dire Beast if you have that spec. That's about it. Say what you want about Shadowlands, and I mostly agree, but a lot of the transmog cosmetics in that expansion are really good. Oh, dude. Historically, Shadowlands made me go woke. It really like opened up, like, ooh, transmog. I like farming for this stuff. Like, it really got me enjoying it. And so, yeah, ever since then, like, no looking back. Like, I've enjoyed transmog in the past. I've enjoyed having like cool, neat appearances and stuff. Like, I can remember like certain things that I would want to get, but things just really opened up with the Shadowlands because I really liked the Covenant stuff. You know, I really liked having like these very definitive looking sets, different themes, and I did enjoy the journey on unlocking most of that stuff because you're basically doing all the different Covenant activities, and not all of them were great. Like the Night Fade thing was just, you know, planting and growing stuff that was very like, okay, cool, very passive. The Maldraxxus one, the Necrolord one, that one sucked. I did not like the grindiness of that one either. Kyrian and Venthyr, they felt good, but Kyrian was top tier shit. I chose well when I wanted to choose my first Covenant, and I think that kind of, I think depending on what people's choice were for their first Covenant, that kind of set the tone for like some people's moods for a good chunk of the expansion, because you know it was hard to switch. But for me, like Kyrian, it just hit all the right spots. I enjoyed the transmog that came from it. I loved Fan of Shields, or whatever it's actually called. You know, the Covenant ability. It was cool. It was very cool. So it took me a month killing 1 round 5 characters to get a pair of shoulders to drop in Zereth Mortis. That's rough. This one's the roughest though. Like, I have all the Skittle swords, for those who are familiar with that. And they're very cool swords. I love them. I'll regularly switch to them because they just have like these very like defining colors. Here, let me zoom in on these guys for the folks in the back. No, but I love the colors on these. I mean, one of them came from, I think, Tazavesh or whatever, but most of them come from here. But I like them. I like the theme of it. Fan of Shields. Oh, yeah. I remember at BlizzCon when we first tried it out, and I hit the button. What is it called again? Divine Tool. When I first hit the button, I was like, done. This is it. Fuck all the other ones. I didn't care about any of the other abilities or any of the classes. I'm like, This is it. I got Fan of Shields. It was more broken back then too. I think it hit all targets, not just like between 3 and 5 or something like that. Like it hit like everything, and it was just insane. But even after it got rebalanced and whatever, still awesome. Still awesome. Where do you get them? Ooh, that's like a pop quiz. I'm not sure if I remember where I get every single one from. I think this one comes from a rare jellyfish that you can have summon. I think this one comes from a rare. Is that anything? Yeah, this one comes from a rare. One of them comes from the first boss of Tazavesh, and I forgot where these other two come from. Yeah. So, okay, I failed the quiz. I don't remember all. My group of friends and I are preparing to do a 0 to KSM challenge with just one button. Obviously, we're still going to use our defenses and whatnot, but the DPS is predominantly one button. I think you can do it. You know, there's going to be like kind of a rebalance when you're trying to work the gear, but like your experience adds like 150 item level. You know what I mean? You know, that adds a ton to your performance. So if you now have someone going totally blind, new season and all that, new class, new everything, you know, or just straight up new player, you know, of course there's going to be like different sorts of growing pains. But I'm confident that, Goose, that you'd be able to pull it off. Blue's from Tazavesh. Okay, so blue is from the dungeon, yellow is the rare. Red is another rare. I don't remember the purple one at all though. Yeah, I think red is the rare from somewhere here, right? There's like a dude, like and not a ethereal dude, like a broker looking dude that's like here. Anyway, not too hard to look up, but very cool and simple design too. Oh, and the cool thing here, let me switch this thing over. Oh, by the way, thanks to Thalia, thanks to Valversia, thanks to George for the subs. Much appreciated. Gotta pay for Boston somehow. Okay, so like the cool thing about this sword is also like the enchants you can get on them. So good. If I can find it. There we go. So like, for example, like this sword, you can enchant it with like, you know, double fire. So you can have like this super flaming sword, or, you know, just like have a contrasting vibe to it. Fire one's my favorite though. But you can like have that and then have, you know, again, like a big contrast with, hey, I want to have it with yellow, or you want to have it with like the blue, have an opposite effect. But very fun. Very, very fun. What else is a good one? Oh, the earth one's kind of cool. Switch that one and have like the green thing, so you got like the earth bending sword. Yeah, pretty neat. The red is right outside the rest zone area over there. Over there. Got it. Over there. All right. This isn't gonna spawn at all. I recall that this comes up like about every hour or so. I will continue to impatiently wait for this bitch. From the engulfer, the big devourer in the northwest. Oh, like one of these dudes over here? Is that the one that like kind of zips around and stuff? For the purple one. Oh yeah, I don't recall that at all. Damn. Ooh, I got. Oh, didn't realize I have Paragon shit too. Nice. Wait, how? Oh, I guess I've been killing rares every now and then here. Devourer. Oh, that's the one in the cave, right? Is it that one? Yeah, you had to like do a puzzle thing, or not a puzzle thing. You needed 2 people. You clicked the thing, or actually, I think you had to just be really fast. You clicked it. You open the door, and then you can go in. Maybe that's the one. Because you're saying northwest. But whatever. Got a lot of paragons. Oh yeah, that's probably it. Okay, let me look at them paragons real quick. So did all of them light up? Okay, that lit up, that lit up. That's it. Okay. So not that big, but something. Actually, maybe it's here under the inactive stuff. I don't know if I like sorted some of these out. Nope, don't look like it. All right. Yeah, I don't remember. I didn't pay attention to that at all. Damn. Cool though. Yeah, too bad for this expansion though. I wonder, like, would it be much different if they didn't have to deal with like the work from home transition and, you know, really fuck with the initial development cycle? Because I feel like that was a big factor that we can't ever really grasp, like, just how much that hurt them during development. I think thematically, like, it still would have faltered. You know, I still think this would not be at the top of people's expansion list. But I'm wondering, you know, I'll just always wonder, like, what's the woulda, coulda, shoulda, if not for like how their work was disrupted and stuff. But again, I'm not even saying that it would save the expansion. Just that might have been better. At the same time, though, I guess it's because of like that whole perfect storm of backlash and everything that caused all these shifts to happen. You know, maybe, not sure, but if anything, they took them lemons, and, you know, made ice cream. Ice cream. I didn't play it on Shadowlands, and a lot of my characters don't have any NPCs around when I go into the main city. Lots of unfortunate things about Shadowlands. Chief among them, I think, capital. Definitely, like, my least favorite capital of all. It's just a big penis-shaped disaster. It was just sad. Sad. Meanwhile, this guy's cool. I like Pokemon. I like some of the zone content that came out of here, especially like the special enchants or special gear that you got from here. Oh, it made outdoor content like a joke. It was hella funny. I'm about ready to give up, but I really shouldn't. Sunk cost fallacy is like totally kicked in. Now I just like, I'm determined to make it. But outside of this, what am I going to work on next? Because this is the shield that I'm trying to get from here. So I'm trying to get this one, and then I have two characters that are camping in Argus for this one. This one is still a mystery. I tried looking it up, and I don't know how to get it. And I think this is the last world drop shield. So yeah, in terms of rare drops, it's really just these three that are left. These two are from dungeons. These are from the raids and arena stuff. This one is also kind of tough to get to. I need to regularly visit Unarmed Plains to find this one, so I'll check that one today. After this, if that ever happens, and then this is going to be like the long one because I need to do PvP. So put a little hat on him. Okay. Costume options. So chef hat. Yes. Brilliant. Especially with the assault stuff. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, that was huge. You know, and then at the same time, you know, Final Fantasy XIV came out with a banger of an expansion, and that was just like, you know, that was just like a kneecap. That fucked them up. Or that fucked up Blizzard. And rightfully so, you know? So ever since then, you know, things have turned around. You know, they're unionizing and all this other cool stuff's happening. And yeah. More importantly, like, Nah, I'll just leave it at that. things just feel better. It feels like a vibe. Now, if only this bitch would spawn. Now I wonder, if when we do that whole legacy thing, it sounded like it only applied to like old dungeons and raids. I don't know if it's going to apply everywhere, because if it does, I'm gonna be right here. I'm gonna be right here, be like, come on, bitch, spawn. Shadowbring was a good expansion. Yeah. I haven't done the game itself. I don't do it justice because I haven't done the side quests. I've only really done the MSQ, and there's like so much more to the game. I know, but I'm a visitor. You know, I've declared myself to be like a visitor of the game. Or hey, because thanks to how well the story preserves itself, regardless of like system changes and whatnot, you can still get a good feel of the story experience, and it'll feel good playing through it. So while I haven't played, I only played the MSQ for Endwalker. I didn't play any of the patch stuff, and then now Dawn Trail's out, and you know people have some reactions to it. Not all of them great, but I haven't looked at any spoilers. I don't know why, so don't spoil me on it. But at some point, I'm gonna jump back in and try it out because I'm a visitor, and it seems neat. The Hero Shield seems to be a possible role for World Quest. Yeah, I haven't seen it though. It can also be a reward for from the Anoran Plains as well. So I've been keeping an eye out. I just don't see it. Like, let me look right now and see if it happens to be a world questy kind of thing. So Charm, Wormforge thing, no, and no. Yeah, so nothing there. But then I'd also need to look at the dailies that are here, because sometimes they'll offer stuff as well. Are you aware of the add-on World Quest achievements? Main intent is to check for World Quests required for achievements, but it also checks for transmog rewards. No, I'm not. That's a new one. Haven't heard of that one. While we're here, let's see. So it's called World WQ Achievements. Let's see what this is about. Boo, boo, boo. Except for the end, fuck that blue dude, hella annoying. Blue dude at the end of Endwalker? Again, I only did the main, the first part of the MSQ. I didn't do any of the patch stuff, so maybe that's something I haven't seen yet. Okay, so what now? What do I look for now? Maybe it's a button. Vendor, no. Because no, tic tac, rare thing, no. Not there. Oh, maybe I did have it and then I turned it off. Oh, okay. So I did have this on at one point. I have seen this add-on. If it's off, it means I had it at one point. Shadowbringers, okay. It can be Caravan Siege Chest and the Elemental Chest in the Northern Plains. Yeah, there's a lot of places, but I've mostly been paying attention to the quests that come from the camp, because supposedly it's there too. Alright, so now what am I looking for? Don't think it's here. Is that it? Okay, I think this is it. So world quest, rewards, shows me stuff. So it's an easy way to... Yeah, there's a lot to look at. Okay, so... yeah, there's a lot to like trying to understand here. I think I get what's going on. So basically do these for that. Do that for that. Okay. Neat. Let's see. Definitely disable all the battle pet stuff. Yeah, probably. So I thought the rare your camping doesn't pop until you kill enough rares in the zone. Did it change to a timer? I have no idea. Is if that's correct, then son of a bitch. Time to go on a killing spree then. Okay, how do I remember this one? I think this one is that one you gotta like get dudes and then bring it to them, something like that. Yeah. You click these things, and then I think you run it over to the. Yeah, something like that. Anyway. Hello, civilian players. Like you're so much more special than we are. Watch out, my one button will own you. Alright, so I'll go for this guy since I'm here. And I remember there's like, yeah, there's one like down here. And interact thing. Turn that on. Alright. Yeah, by default, that's just a lot of stuff that's on. I'm like, oh, that's intense. All right, 27 minutes. Okay, I thought I saw something. Abandoned, but no, that's not it. Oh, we already got it down. Oh, shit. I better be here. Okay. Woo! Inventory space. Alright. So I guess I did do enough of them. I should have been looking at the chat log for it. New shop bundle. That's right, buddies. That's the big secret. Metal Brutosaur. Oh, shit. Turns into a fucking robot. Costs 200 gold every time you get on, by the way. So gotta kill rares. Oh, that's lame. And now it costs $120. And the sub price just went up. Boom. Let's just do a full Yahtzee. A full Yahtzee of disappointment. How far can we go? Without giving it away, on a scale of 1 to 10, how big is this announcement? Yes. Let's see. Didn't care for the appearance of the shop Brutosaur. Oh, is this the one that you have to not accidentally kill? I think. So I needed to like... Okay, well, let's see if this guy does it. He might know what to do. I think it was you have to get a debuff by aggroing dudes, and then once you get enough, then the dude comes down. So I'll let you do it, buddy. I mean, oh man, he's still... There's still... Okay, let's see if it... 10... 12... Come on, buddy. Started playing when the OG Brutosaur mount was still obtainable and I was new, so I didn't know how to make gold or what a WoW token was. I mean, if you missed out, you know, it's not the end of the world. You know, it's a really awesome quality of life thing, but not having it doesn't mean, oh man, I can't play the game. I'm never gonna get into keys at this rate. Oh, he's being nice too. He's not even fighting. Yeah, I'm just, I don't know if someone's gonna show up or whatever, because yeah. 90% of stuff for player housing and 10 open. That'd be hella funny. Or here's the twist, you know, you must develop your house to a certain level before you can get into keys. It's like an attunement. Must place 40 objects, must have 2 floors. You know, to as part of the MSQ to unlock Mythic Plus. Plus a required weekly to do before you start doing keys. Oh, Serranos. What is Serranos? Oh, Serranos is far as fuck. No, man. You're looking for this message. A loud rumbling echoes in the distance. It's no the sounds begin to shift. Okay, cool. Thank you. And a car is another thing. Oh, it's already dead. Oh, things are spawning and I'm way too slow to like see shit. Okay, let's go for that guy. Because I forgot. Oh, that one? I thought it was just we click something, like that's it. You're the one bad at actual decorations? Oh, I am bad at it. Yeah, I suck at it. But I'm willing to learn. With knowledge that the remix thing is happening. Yeah, well, I'm kind of the same way too. I'm just like, you know, I'm not going to sweat over it. I mean, there are, I want to see the achievement be more fleshed out, and I'm going to do like certain ones, like the ones that have to do with like rare farms or ones with like the rotating spawns. Those I want to take care of if there's anything that I'm missing. But I haven't looked at the new build. And I think there was a new build, so I think the achievement might have been changed, or maybe it's actually flushed out now. I am actually excited to do keys in the remix, though. I want to see if I'm going to expect, actually. I'm going to fully expect that we can solo keys, and that's going to be like how to do it. So I'm going to power myself up like a crazy person. And then like solo plus 30s or some shit. I'll be like, all right, this is Mythic Plus. This is how it should be played. I'll get KSM in no time at this rate. Thanks to Peter. Hey, thank you much, dude. Isn't part of Mythic Plus the group aspect? Yes, it is. Absolutely. But you know, so are raids and dungeons. And in the remix, we were able to solo that too. So screw it. Why not? Right? But I'd love to, you know, I'm sure like you're going to have people, teams that are like, hey, more DPS, right? But it's going to have, but I would say like, the Legion Remix Mythic Plus, it's not going to have anything to do with like actual mechanics. It's just run in, have shit tons of like gear and power-ups or whatever it is, and then just annihilate the place. And that's going to be like, yeah, and that's it. Because you think about how the mop remix went, almost any class would do just fine at like completing like mythic raids and all that stuff. But with the infinite scaling that is Mythic Plus, we'll be able to like stretch out even farther. So while I might be able to solo like high level stuff, of course, a proper team who may need to do mechanics and stuff, like they're of course going to climb that much higher, and that'll be cool too. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay down there and enjoy my own shit. You think it'll offer a way to acquire Mage Tower artifact appearances again? Nope. Nope. It might be recolors. I wouldn't mind seeing a recolored bear again. I think that'd be neat. But I don't think we're going to get the OG ones, no. Think about how at the end of MOP I had every missing set, so I'm feeling it'll be the same for what I'm missing in Legion. Yeah, like my recommendation to folks, it's gonna be just like the MOB remix. I'm gonna say, hey, just keep an eye out for those special achievements that get you unique stuff that you won't be able to get outside of the remix. Focus on that first. It's gonna cover a lot of bases, and you'll be able to get a good start on collecting. Now, the question I have is, if they're going to follow like the same formula, as in like, hey, you're going to get these powers, you're going to get bronze, you're going to use the bronze to power up gear and get cosmetics and yada yada yada, are they going to start off with the bronze acquisition rate to be how it was later in the MOB remix, you know, after like changes and tuning and all that stuff? Or is it going to be like a big fucking grind like it was at the start? And then people are like looking for hyper spawns and frogs and all that stuff. You know, what lessons are they going to take? And how's that going to inform them on the initial release of the Legion remix? Don't know. There's new remix. Yeah, they announced it all on Friday. They said officially that the Legion remix is going to be a thing. They didn't give very many details though, except for Mythic Plus and the ability to make outdoor content harder by like increasing, you know, kind of like Diablo 4, where you can increase like the world tier and difficulty of stuff, so things scale higher, and you get things for it. I presume. When's the remix? Just like towards the end of the year, like what they've been saying. They start at the level it was up to the first drop boost and build to the later settings, so it's not as bad as the MOP was at the start. Well, I wonder too, because, you know, there's a lot of folks that are like, we don't want a season 4 of War Within. And if that's the case, then the Legion remix might feel shorter, because the MOP remix, I think, lasted, oh shit, I forget. It was either 3 or 4 months. I think it was 3 months. And if people don't want a season 4 of War Within, then the remix either is going to start earlier or it's going to be shorter to fit. Maybe. 92 days. You were quick on that. That's kind of frightening. Faster than the start of MOB remix, but not as fast later on, but it can always buff that later. Yeah, it could be that. Could be that. I think that was the last dev interview I did. Now that I think about it, it was the MOB remix. I felt very cocky doing that interview, but it was fun. It was very fun. I wanted a season 4. Last season 4 was awesome. I was playing the season and a remix. I prefer to have one too. I know not everyone feels the same way, but I just think they're wrong. I'd want to have the flexibility of like, okay, I'm going to do some meta achievement stuff. I'm going to hop in for some remix. Oh, it's raid night. Let's fuck around and, you know, get more chips and dinar, whatever you want to call it. And then I can have like the gear that I want to have for the next expansion, you know, leveling and all that stuff. So, you know, all that would be fun. Just give me midnight earlier. I don't think that's a question though, Denflep. It's not a question of getting it earlier. Like, they know when it's going to come out. It's just a question of like, how, you know, what's the last couple months of this expansion going to be like? You know, because it's already been decided. It's just, how's it going to be shaped? Because the way I've been kind of looking at it, the difference between having a season 4 and not having a season 4 is 4 weeks. 4, maybe 5 weeks. Like, I think they can fit a much shorter season. Like Dragonflight tried to be a longer season. It tried to feel like a more bona fide season, and that wore people out. Shadowlands was shorter. It was a shorter season 4. So I would like the War Within season 4 to be like about as short or even a little bit shorter. And everything will fit just fine. So for me, with the mob remix, the content was kind of static. After Siege, the game was over in a way. Kind of worried that there'll be enough time for Legion for a 3-month cycle. Yeah, like that's the concern that I have too. Like if they introduce it, it's like during that time period, we're going to contend with, we will definitely contend with the Legion remix, player housing. For some people, player housing and like the alpha beta cycle, along with whatever the hell else you feel like doing. If there is no season 4, then it kind of increases that sense of urgency of like, oh, you got to knock everything out. The way that I look at season 4 of an expansion personally is like, okay, it's cool. I don't have to do these things, but it's a way to keep the guild entertained, as opposed to like just doing nothing. And it gives us something to do every Tuesday and Thursday, to get together and do stuff. And then outside of that, we just kind of break off and do our own thing as usual. Not everyone does that the same way though. Like they look at it like, oh man, now I gotta do the whole portal thing again and all that. So they feel locked in, and they don't want to feel locked in. But that's also, us deciding how we want to consume the game. This bitch will never spawn. It's never gonna spawn. I think we got 12 minutes left until the news comes out. I'll hold out. Been here this long. What I don't like at the moment is only 3 raids per expansion. I like that they reuse the raids in the expansion and all, but it feels like we're getting a cheap out. I remember I kind of remember when John Haidt, when he made a presentation at a GDC, I believe, and he was straight up showing the numbers as to like, okay, here's how many people will show up at the start, and here's where they're at by the end. And it comes to no surprise that by the end of the expansion, there's just fewer and fewer players, and new content. It brings in like a small bump of people to like come back, but for the most part, people tend to check out very early into an expansion's lifetime anyway. It's just a question of retention, and how well can you keep people locked in. So maybe the question that Blizzard asked themselves is, okay, do we want to create do we want to cram another tier in here, like with full-on raid story, yada yada yada, or do we want to use this time to make the new expansion, make this season 4 kind of content, and have that instead? Because if they did go through with 4 raid tiers again, they still need the time to make the new expansion. So we just kind of be pushing, we'd be just kind of kicking the bucket down the road or whatever. I forgot the phrasing, but we would just have a longer expansion. Stu. So I think I do recall a dev interview where they tried to make that very, very clear. It's like where they basically said, just because even if we cancel season 4, it doesn't mean the expansion's going to come out any sooner. Something like that. Our guild is not good enough to kill all 3 bosses from 3 raids, so it's always that unsatisfied as we end up getting 85% done. I thought we did kill them all. Yeah, we got them all. There's a score group for Justin Zereth more spawns. Great way to keep track of who's like. Oh, yeah. Maybe this one will just be like a later one to get, because camming this one just sucks. But for me, Shadowlands and Dragonflight Season 4, I stopped playing because I didn't want to do it all over again, I get that. So I mean that's fine. So it should be a Hallian thing, 2 to 4 raid bosses. I thought Hallian was just one boss. Those other dudes were just like little, they were like little lieutenants. Like that was it. I don't remember them being actual raid bosses, right? Because here, let me see. This'll inform me. Something Wrath, Ruby. Yeah, he just had lieutenants. He didn't have like actual bosses in there. Now a one raid thing that would suck too, dude. We've been there. We've seen what happens when they released Trial of Valor. We've seen what happens when they release Crucible of Storms. We've seen Hallian. People don't give it, and hell, we've seen this kind of the same thing with Dawn of the Infinite. People, you know, a lot of folks just don't give a shit. It's like, oh, do I get upgrades from here? Not really. Nah, I'm good. And hey, peace out. What's supposed to be at 10? News at 10. I think a short raid has traditionally been a waste. Like I remember how we responded to Trial of Valor. It was just like, oh, whoop-de-doo. So, but you know, that was us. Some folks are like, yeah, we really want that. Mod collection buff isn't coming out until the 0.7 patch. Yes, and it's an event, so I don't think it's. I'm not sure if it comes out at the very start. You know, just wait for the schedule. No. All right. What's a Mog collection buff? Well, to call it a Mog collection buff, I think that's a bit deceptive. Like, I think there's supposed to be like increased drops that come from legacy content during that whole Treasure Goblin event. That's going to happen later. Hallian is still talked about to this day, 14 years later. Don't think it's a waste. Oh, it's because you just brought it up, Hawkeye. Yeah. We also talk about Shadowlands a lot too. So I love a tier with a set of smaller raids, like 2 to 4 raids with 5 bosses, like Mop's first tier. I wasn't too fond of that though, Nulger, because it was like super time gated too. I don't remember the schedule. I think it was like a 1 month gap or something like that. Something like that. And then I think, well, I don't think it was the same way for Cataclysm though. I think with Cataclysm, I think all 3 did in fact come out at the same time. But I don't remember too well. It's been a long time. Does it include mount drop increase? I'm not sure about that either. I only know Visions, Overcharged Delves, and Dastardly Duels. So Visions and Dastardly Duels, that's coming out. Well, Visions is next week. Dastardly Duels in a couple more weeks. Overcharged Delves and the other events, like that's going to come out later. Or that's going to come out in 11.17. Yeah. 5 minutes. 5. You know, I wasn't even gonna say anything until, and then I saw Taliesin say, "Hey, I'm gonna talk about stuff," and then Tally said, "Oh, hype coming at 10 a.m." and I'm like, and Mr. GM too. It's like, "Oh, look, I'm gonna retweet this thing." I'm like, "Okay, fine. I guess I'll join in," and say it. Do what I want to do is farm all the plate mogs. Good man. Good man. You're not behind, Thalia. You're fine. It's not out. It's not going to be out for like a month and some. So, yeah, you're not behind at all. Hype at 10? It's not 10 yet. Having a rotational raid is bad. A new raid with super loot drop unless it's prog is way more interesting. It would be way more interesting, but again, you know, you got to balance. Can they put out a new raid with new encounter design, blah blah blah, versus working on the new expansion? And we've seen them say, and I've seen players say, we want it sooner. That's been the more resounding argument versus, hey, give us a bona fide fourth season with like a new raid and all that stuff. So, like, the sentiment that I read from folks and probably the data that Blizzard has, it screams that, like, that 3 works. So, doesn't the VOD team have like 800 people? Yeah, so. Let's see. So Taliesin leaked it earlier? What did he say? Can't fix problems with more people. That's not how it works. I mean, like, I'm sure that there's an argument to be made where, you know, the WoW team is saying, oh, we're working on 3 expansions, all the expansions at the same time at different stages of development. And some people would be like, well, what they should have done is made, you know, the first, instead of all 3 expansions, they should just work on the first 2, and as if there's like an easy mathematical shift that you can make. And I'm not going to pretend I know how all that shit works. You know, when it comes to like how development works and all that stuff. But one thing's for sure, we as fans and armchair devs, we're really good at saying things. We're very good at just saying stuff. Goes both ways. You know, I am very conscious of that. I know when I'm talking out my ass. I know when to not take myself that seriously. Ah, 12:58 on this clock. Actually, no, local time is 9:59. That's good enough for me. Bigger team means a portion could have been split into create a... See? Told you. It was like prophecy. We are very good at saying things. How's your time been on Final Fantasy XIV? I'm only a visitor, so I haven't really played it in... I haven't played anything beyond the first MSQ thing. Oh, I gotta, like, do shit. Hold on. They told me to do some stuff. Hold on. La, 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 la. That'll take a minute. Ask yourself this, for those who are wondering what this news is about. Why would they call me out? Why would they invite me out? Think about that for a half second while I send the message. Housing stuff void. Housing stuff hype. Fuck that, dude. So, a little while ago, Blizzard reached out and said, hey, we want you to come over to Boston because we wanted to show you like housing stuff. I'm like, oh shit, I'm there. So a video is out right now, and what they had done, they gave us like a big old demo. They gave us a demo to like play with like the interior decorating of housing. Sadly, there's a lot of stuff we didn't learn about outdoor stuff, unfortunately, but we do have like this little bit of a teaser to look at to give us an idea of what the outdoor decorating is going to be like. It's just that it's very simple. So we have, obviously we're not seeing like, tables flying in the air or just like a random animal just floating in the sky or something like that. So it looks simple at first, but we're at least getting an idea of the current vision. But a lot of this B-roll is going to show us the interior stuff. And from the demo that we tried out, fuck, it's intense. It's a lot. There's a lot going on. Like everything here, I'd say like 75 to 80% of the stuff here you can just place freely. The other stuff are things that you would need to use like the advanced tools to set up. But yeah, videos out where I did an interview. You don't see the actual interview stuff, but I do try to get as many questions answered as I could with the available information that they were able to give me. But all this stuff is very, very possible. Pretty easy to set up, and it's pretty intense. You have like floating chandeliers, you have these different light sources, there's the Onyxia head. Apparently we might be able to have multiple Onyxia heads from some of the chatting. And we all had the opportunity to like make stuff like this. Were we able to do it? Nope. Some people, they were able to do a pretty good job of like at least getting started. They were able to like decorate a couple things, but we only had a few hours to like learn the controls and start messing around with stuff and figure things out. But for the most part, like I was just trying to break shit and get personal questions answered. Like, okay, how do you do this? How do you do that? And then I think at one point, like those floating books right there, I spawned like 100 of them to like see if I can like crash the client or whatnot. I just went into a room and just spawned like bajillion books and put some stuff out. But all these things are like pretty easy to set up once you have like all the parts and you give yourself a little bit of time to learn the controls. It's a lot. So like this shot here, some of these are used in advanced tools. Like I think like this is like I think that's supposed to be a table or like an altar, but you can see like there's another one here. So they just created two of them. One of them is turned upside down and like this altar is just hanging on the wall. And now it becomes like this whole mantle thing. So what they could have done too here is to take both of these pieces and push them back into the wall so it doesn't feel like it sticks out like as much. But in this case, I think it's being used as kind of one of those like overhead fans over the stove. I think it's giving like that sort of vibe to it. But yeah. Actually, let me go back a little bit. So like the intentional clipping is right there to to kind of make it feel like this countertop is pushing into this pillar here. It's nuts. It's wild. One of my favorite things is like these shelves you can like put up pretty easily. So like here's a shelf, here's a pillar. Somewhere back there is like the actual wall. Actually, I think that right there might be the wall. The real wall in the back of that room. It's pretty easy to like choose different kinds of books that you can place up there. They're not, as far as I look, they're not like interactable yet, but you just kind of like hover over and then boom, you just place. Same thing goes if you want to do like these individual objects, and it snaps into place like they're Legos and shit. Like all these things can snap into place, or you can have them like floating around, hovering, whatever. This right here is like it's a hidden bookcase. So there are doors. There are doors you'll be able to interact with. Of course, if you want to be like kind of weird, you can have like doors that are horizontal, and it becomes a trap door if you wanted to like click and then just like fall through. Like it's like, oh, let me get out of here, woo, and you just drop into a thing. This right here though is an actual room. It's partially pre-built, so like this room here, like these stairs that you have set up, you can climb. These are all preset. Everything else here is a like I think you can kind of see the stone wall there. That is the actual wall. Everything else here is placed. So like those windows, these pillars that are here and here, all those have been placed with the different lighting. So like under here, this is like just under the staircase, and they just added a whole bunch of bookcases, a smaller bookcase that I guess they just kind of like shoved down into the floor to make a shorter bookcase, and like, hey, there's a painting and whatnot, and all these individual pieces are placed. You can change the theme yeah, I remember doing that. Like when you're doing the edit mode, I'm sorry, I'm just vomiting like experience, knowledge here. But you can, when you're in the edit mode, you can just click on the stairs, and then you can change the theme of the stairs to like, I think I saw like this is like, I think folk version, and then there's like a blood elf one, and there's like a few others, but it'll like change the entire staircase. You can do the same thing with the floors, you can do the same thing with the walls. So it can be stone, it can be like a brightly colored thing as if you're in Silvermoon City, all that stuff. And you can see here, like there's stuff from like all sorts of different eras. Like there's like some Undermine stuff. There's some like basic human stuff. Here's like the little foliage things that really have no place in there, but they just put it up anyway. And then don't worry, I'll go through chat and I'll read some of your business in a bit. I'll answer questions. The video, I try to answer as much as I can, but I'm sure there's some stuff that I missed or like forgot about. And there might have been some other questions that got answered by other creators, because like there was me, I guess creators that you might be more familiar with. Me, Taliesin, and Preach were there. I regretfully am not familiar with most of the other creators who were there, and there were some people who were from media publications too. MMO champion bottom out for videos. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with like the media folk. We didn't talk to them. No dev question. I did have questions, but for reasons I am not able to. I'm not able to post them. It's kind of dumb, but I was instructed to not post them. I'm not sure what the other folks did though. So lots of books. It's kind of funny seeing like really old looking stuff alongside really new stuff, but that's the vibe that they wanted to keep. It's a shame seeing nothing but B-roll. Yeah, they did not allow us to get anything except for like very specific. They let us take 3 screenshots. That's it. We couldn't generate our own footage though, which kind of sucks. But I think it's because what we had in our hands was like super pre-alpha stuff. It was very like undone. So like here are my shitty screenshots here. Yeah, maybe this will work. So here you can kind of see me. I was just like, okay, let me find a room. So this is a tall large room, or a tall medium-sized room, and I just took like a bunch of tables and I just like stacked them together. Later on, I kept climbing into like a higher elevation to see if I'd be able to do that. But also they added like just straight up like blocks, so people are going to be able to like, kind of like Legos. You're able to take blocks and place them or reorient them and make shapes or whatever, so you can make your own staircase if you wanted to. I just wanted to see like what I'd be able to do there. The other shot, this right here is, I just made like a basic kind of like a fake window. So like here's like just some block. Here's 2 walls that I put up. There's another wall that I put up and I just elevated it. Back here is the actual wall, and then I just have like these little flamingo things to kind of make it seem like, oh, this is like outside. It's like the yard or something like that. But that is not true, because if you go behind it, I just took a bunch of windows and I suspended them and just had them like point down. So what I did, I took like another block. I took like this plank here, and then I dropped a bunch of these windows on top of it. That way I can just take the block and all the windows will move together. And then I just like put it over that, and that's how you get like this kind of effect. I was just playing around to it's a pretty popular thing, or a pretty normal thing that you see in Final Fantasy XIV where they do that. One thing that I'd love to see though, and I talk about this, let me go back to this first shot. So you can see here, like it's just me and a bunch of tables and an empty room. There's no lighting, nothing like that, but it's still like, you know, visible and all that. What I really want them to do, and I was bugging them about this, I'm like, hey, y'all, it'd be really cool if we can change the ambient light and just make it darker. And at the same time, I want to be able to take these lights and adjust each one bit by bit and make it like super bright if I wanted to do that. So that way I can have like this very contrasting sort of feel. So if I want to like, boom, you know, I go into the house and it's like hella dark and I turn on the lights, then like, boing, you know, things can turn on, because I can, let's see, where's that B-roll stuff? Actually, I'll use these screenshots. These are good too. So you can click on each of these like candlelights, chandeliers or whatever. You can turn them off and on, which is cute, you know, kind of a nice thing. But I think it'd be really cool if we can adjust the brightness, like both the ambient, the passive light, and also like the light that comes from these things here. I think that'd be neat. So let me catch up with chat now. Let's see. How's him as an end game? Some trolling from Oinky, whatever. It looks like it was fun. It was really fun figuring some of the stuff out and messing around with things. Do you think we can make a chapel house for paladins? I'll straight up tell you right now. If you want to make anything, you can do it, as long as it's not against TOS, which is going to be tough to do. But the answer, you know, to ask the questions of, you know, can I make this or that? Yes, absolutely. Was recording not allowed? No, recording was not allowed. Funny Priest just released a video about player housing. Yeah, because he was there. He was there too. Later that day, we all went out to dinner, you know, so we were just like chilling. I love doing that kind of stuff in Kelly and SWTOR with clipping, harder to do in SWTOR, but so much fun. So like, for example, this shot here, notice like these pillars and like these supports that are up here, like this is the same thing as these pillars here, I think. It's very similar to it. It's just that they were shifted diagonally. So when you're in the edit mode, you'll be able to, when you're in the advanced edit mode and you're able to float and move things around, like it'll show you like the degrees at which they're being turned. So that way you can try to make like more even shapes. It's not perfect, but you know, it's still definitely being worked on. The controls were pretty hard to get used to. Like I didn't try very hard at like setting up keybinds and all that stuff. I was just kind of like fudging around for the most part. But there was a lot. Do you need like 5,000 books to have a library? I mean, if you want that, yes, right? They were clear on saying like certain things that you're going to have a lot of, like rugs or books or whatever, they're going to be cheap. They're not going to be like that difficult to get. Also, when it comes to quest items, so like if you do a quest and you get a housing decor from that, you're not gonna need to switch to multiple alts and then do the quest over and over again. Once you do that quest the first time, there's going to be some way, whether it's an NPC or something like that, where you can buy all of these quest rewards that you've previously gotten, where the first one's free, cool, but then you can buy the rest somehow, some way. They didn't give too many details on it, but they don't want you to have to repeat quests in order to get like multiples of the same thing. Will we have a new profession linked to housing like woodworking and stonemason? No, they will. There's not. Yeah, the questions that I answered, they're all just kind of like spattered on the they're spattered across the video. So everything that I talk about there is things that I learned from the hands-on testing and things that we were told early on, as well as the developer interview. I only had 20 minutes. All of us only had like 20 minutes to ask as much stuff as we could. I felt bad. Oh, Dratnos was there too. Yeah, Preach and Dratnos, they wanted to do like a big interview with like all 4 of the available developers. It just didn't work out that way with them either. And then I think they were also told that there's a lot of audio that they couldn't use. So I'm not sure who was able to actually post an interview and who was not, which is just awkward. But it kind of worked out too, because I was super stressing out. I was hella stressing out, like trying to get everything ready. And when I made the recording, I fucked something up, and so I actually got no actual footage. So like the gear that I brought and all that stuff, it was for nothing. Yay. Thankfully they had a backup audio, and so everything was fine. Is there any function besides cosmetics to housing? It's still being discussed. At the moment, there is not. The intention right now is for housing to feed into itself, but not so much, hey, we want housing to replace the cities or stuff like that. Which reminds me, are there any official articles out? Sorry, I gotta look and see. Okay, nothing from there. Oh, wow, there's no official news thing. So it's all the creators who are putting stuff out. Cute. Barry was excluded. Him being ghosted by Blizz is hilarious. They didn't like his negative videos lately. I don't know. I mean, like, maybe he said no, right? That could have been a thing. I didn't say no because I was like straight up, I actually was not going to go to the 30th anniversary thing because I was like, oh, I'm on the fence about it. Like, this is going to be a lot of money and blah, blah, blah. And then I got the invite and they said, hey, we're going to fly you out. I'm like, oh, shit. They're like, we're going to give you like lodgings and put you in a hotel. I'm like, oh, shit. Hey, babe, we're going. So, like, sold. But yeah, I mean, maybe he said no. You know, because otherwise I'd be like, well, why didn't, you know, what about Hazelnutty? And, you know, there's all sorts of fantastic creators who also could have been invited. Yeah. So you can place whatever you want anywhere. Yes. Do you have any idea how much of this stuff will be a starter kit and how much will be unlocked or bought? No. So we were trying to ask, like, how early are people going to get housing? The way that they phrased it is, you know, they want to have it early. They don't want there to be like, you know, all these hoops to jump through or like, you know, lofty level requirements and stuff like that. Because their intent is they want to make housing feel like a part of the game, like a natural part of the game early on. But they also don't want to give it to players like too early to where it's like they don't even know how to play much of like the basics of like how combat works and all that stuff until, you know, before giving them housing. So at the barest minimum, I was hoping that we would get it like as soon as level 10 once we get like some of those basics out of the way. But it might be a little bit higher than that. But as for us, you know, us who are like more veterans of the game, we should be able to just like dive right in and get access to like all the different unlocks that are grandfathered in because of, you know, achievements that we've done, bosses we killed, quests we've completed. A lot of that stuff will just like be in our inventories and ready to go. As for like, you know, just how much stuff there's going to be, I don't think it's going to be like that much stuff. You know, we're going to run out of things, but I imagine there's going to be like a starter house as well. Something that I want to try and suggest too, though, is like the way it works is there's a layout mode and you'll be able to add rooms. So you have like, you know, let's say like one large room, you can add another large room right next to it. And they're like, they're automatically connected by a door. There's no load screen between like this room and that room. I mean, hell, like I think this room is connected to like this one or something like that. Like all these can be, all of these might just be one house, right? And there's no load screens, nothing like that to worry about. But what I was kind of lightly suggesting is, what if we can like buy an entire room? Like, what if we can like if this is like a medium-sized hallway, that's kind of what this looks like. What can I just buy this whole thing and then just drop it down, and all these things are automatically set up, or at least like maybe more basic stuff is already set up, and then I can decorate a little bit more however I want to. So when I buy it, like I'll purchase these parts and they become part of my housing inventory or housing chest, and then I can like take it apart, do whatever I want with it. There's just like these available pre-builds that I can pick up. I think that'd be kind of neat. But also what I think would be neat is the ability to like export some of these builds, so that way we can like share them and people can try this shit out on their own too. One other thing that I did was get like 50 rugs. No, it was either 40 or 50. And I just stacked them on top of each other just to see what would happen. Nothing happened except for like this weird flickering because there's all these different models sitting on top of each other. But I can't begin to imagine just how the QA is going to be on this, because you can do anything. You can get really stupid about what you can do with this. And yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be fucking insane. Fucking insane. Rivka, thank you. Bell himself implied he's on Blizzard's naughty list in his latest video, and he said he's not invited. Bummer. Did I miss anything yet? Hi to Peach. No, not really. Because people are going to be talking about this housing stuff for, this is the news cycle. This is the current news cycle, and then we'll see how long this lasts before the next thing comes up. I wonder if it's going to be more of an improvement of Final Fantasy XIV player housing. I think there are a lot of pieces to it. Like Impales points out that everyone will be able to get a house. There is no lottery. There's nothing like that is happening, so everyone can have a house, no problem. The other thing too is when it comes to the customization in 14, you need to rely on tricks in order to make certain things rotate right, or to sit right, or to clip together. You have to use like tips and tricks and whatnot. In WoW, it's just going to be built in. You can phase things through. You can do some weird shit. So I talk about this in the video, but there was dude, I swear, there's like this demo that one of the developers did for us. So it was like a half-hour demo, and we just watched him as he took this layout here. No. It was just it was like an empty layout. Like an empty large space, larger than this. And what he did, actually no, I think it was like the large room. Yeah, so it was like similar to this space here, just much better. And what he did was make a restaurant. So he put up a bunch of pillars and created like a countertop space with I think some stools. He put up tables. He put up some stairs. He created stairs to go to an upper level. Put some tables on there too. Created some railings. Plopped down some more pillars to like give that whole illusion of there being like supports for these for this upper floor. Put some paintings up, some draperies and all that. And then he did this really cool thing where he made like a stove. So he took what looked like where's that one thing? No, not that one either. Okay, I don't have anything here. But he took like this kind of like metal table, and then he fused it with a large box. And so that metal table now looks like kind of like a flat burner. And then he took like some barrels. I don't know if I can find anything that looked like barrels here, but he took some barrels, shrunk them down, and then phased it through that table to make it look like there were like 3 burners on there in a small array. And then he took like a little candle thing. Then he took a candle thing, phased that inside too, so he can create like an open burner. So like one of them was closed, 2 of them were open, whatever. and then put out food and did put up a bunch of other stuff. But I was really impressed by the whole stovetop thing that he made. So what we're going to see, like the creativity from folks, is like people are going to take objects and they're going to create like weird shit out of it, like this this telescope looking thing. Like they might want to have like they want to take like this small piece here and use something with it, so they'll obscure everything else except that and make like an eyeball or something like that. I think I saw in one of these shots there's like a candle. So I think this candle here is actually much taller, but they just kind of pushed it down to, you know, make it seem like just not as big. I think that same effect is being achieved here with that candle right there, because I think it's just sitting, it looks like it's just sitting on that shelf, but then this one is like actually standing all the way up. I can't really tell from that shot. But the fact that we'll be able to fuse things however we like and clip them, no problem. And all the collision works. All that stuff works. So we'll be able to like sit on those things and sit on that and that. And, you know, they also included like a new eating animation. So you're sitting there and you're eating stuff if you want to. So it's kind of cute. Do you know if you can build outside or do you have to build inside? I'm not quite sure what you mean. So inside is like an instance area. You just have like the house and everything, and then there's the outside. But we weren't told anything about the outside. They do have an interview video out with. So okay, so they did publish that one. Okay. Do you have a shop at the moment? I know someone asking about my housing shirt. Oh, you mean I can finally take this off? You mean this one? Ah, I'll make it public in a bit. Or it'll be posted onto the store. It's actually warm. Let me take this guy off. Did you see where the housing estate was located? How far outside Stormwind was it? It is entirely instance. Labbit or Labote. At the moment, it is not fused. It's not built into the world. You can't see it from the outside. You can't, you know, dive bomb into it. You just instance into it somehow. So kind of bummer, but that was their answer when we asked. Can you do the quest again on alt so you don't have to buy it? I don't know. I doubt it though, because that would feel like a waste of my damn time. You know, kind of like with Warbands Goose, where you do the quest and you get the reward. You know, you get gear as the reward or something like that, but then afterwards you don't get the gear. You get resonant crystals instead, because you got all the transmog for the gear already. So there's no point in doing that. Catch up more with chat. Yeah, it was a 2-on-2 interview because two of them couldn't show because I think they were running late, which kind of sucked. My interview was before theirs, actually. Like their interview was like the last one, I think, because they were running late, and like after a certain time, they had got all of us. They got us together in like a big round table, and then we're all just talking shit. S-Fan was there too. There you go. Yeah, so for the more known WoW creators, Preach, Dratnos, S-Fan, and me. What a combo. What a combo. Can you go upstairs? Yes, because you could just make the stairs yourself. So there's like the pre-builds where you can go up here and then you can like ascend a level in the layout mode, and then you can drop more rooms in. The other thing you can kind of sort of do is, like in this case, like this is considered a tall room, where this upper level here can open up. So if you have another room that connects to it, then it'll like create a door, and then you just kind of go through it. So even though the connectors between rooms are mostly in the middle, it doesn't necessarily mean that that the room is going to be shaped that way either. Like you can have a big square room, but only take up like certain portions of it because, you know, reasons. and just have it shaped however you like. So it doesn't have to necessarily feel like, oh, the door to the next area is right in the middle of the room, because the room can be shaped however you like. These are just like the large boundaries, or the boundary limits of where you can place like the walls however you like. I think level 30 is a sweet spot to start the unlock. What else is unlocked at level 30? Because I'm thinking to myself, when do you unlock, this kind of flying speed or whatnot? Because 30 could be good too. I mean, hell, like between 20 and 30, I haven't leveled in a long time, but it sounds fast enough to me anyway. Can't wait for the safe house to get messed up. That kind of bugs always happen to me. The hope is that there is going to be a way to export your build, because honestly, because of how complicated this can get, and because you can place things exactly how you want, I would be scared. Like, imagine this. Like, let me put the fear into you guys. Imagine you're putting in tens and tens of hours into creating like your house, and these can be very, very big. You can have up to 10 rooms. You can have multiple floors. You can just make like this big old tower if you want to, and just make all sorts of stupid shit. But you're spending so many hours doing it, and then something catastrophic happens, and the house layout is deleted. It's like, that would feel like deleting your character in WoW, and I wouldn't stand for that. So I'd love to have the ability to export, like, just as a backup, just in case. It also opens the door for importing other people's houses too. I think that'd be really awesome. Like, why not? 10 and 20 just seems too early. You have nothing to decorate. I agree. Yeah. Like I said, like, they want to put newer players in a position where, one, they can have the house, but two, they're on that velocity to actually start earning things. So like in the case of in the case of this, assuming that Dragonflight is still going to be like the leveling expansion or whatever for a brand new player, I think 30 is a good spot to start earning stuff. Like, they'll have some things to start off with. My hope is that my expectation is that there'll be like some initial things that are automatically or easily given to them. The one question that I have, though, that I didn't ask was, for veterans, like, where do we need to go to like get some of these appearances that we have unlocked, grandfathered in, that would come from quests? Where do we buy that stuff? Because we don't remember what we did like years and years and years ago. So I hope that when it comes time to get like those appearances, that they'll be easy to get to. Like, there's just like some easy housing NPC in the neighborhood that'll help us out. I am curious about the Preach and Dratnos interview, because according to them, like, there might have been things that are said about neighborhoods that were said that shouldn't have been said. I'm not sure. They might have told them to not publish some of that stuff, but I'm not sure. But I'll check that on my own time. In the meantime, I'm with y'all. Do we know what kind of neighborhood themes there are so far, or just human themed neighborhoods? There's what we saw in the B-roll, which is like kind of Elwyn Forest and Duskwood, and Red Ridge. I think it's going to be like that kind of region. On the Horde side, it's going to be a mix of Durotar and Ashara. Yeah. So you'll have that mix of foresty stuff, water, desert, beach, and some of that other cool stuff. I like the beach part. I think the beach thing is cool. I foresee there being a ton of house tour vids arriving after midnight. I imagine this entire industry of WoW, like, something is building up. Like, I might not be the one who, like, I'm not going to be like a top creator person, but I can definitely see, people taking tours of other people's houses. I can definitely see people doing like speed builds. It's like, hey, let me put together like this thing, or like, you'll be on stream and it's like, all right, chat, like, give me a theme, guys, give me a theme. And then the person will just spend the next couple hours just building around that theme. They'll probably sit to like making a room or something like that, because these rooms are big. These rooms don't fuck around. I think it's like, I had to guesstimate because they wouldn't tell me the exact size, but I'm guessing like about 600 yards, 6 to 700 yards, square feet, that is. So think of your character, think 70 yards away, and you know, from one side to the next. It's a lot. You know, and these here, like I said, these are just boundaries. Most folks, they're going to like create and shape walls however they like. This image is great. Oh, I know. It's awesome. Here, that's the one presentable image that I had. Everything else was just awful. It was just awful. I was like, ooh, let me make a hallway and all that stuff. One thing that I tried to get, and I didn't get a straight answer, was, hey, what about like our warband? Can we see people in our warband? And can we see pets? Because I'd love to see pets. And they were cagey on it. They pointed out that when it comes to having NPCs walk around, pets running around, it's all scripted. You know, there's like there are certain scripts, there are certain systems or whatnots that help to dictate like where these pets go or where these NPCs go, and like their behavior. But how do you do that for player housing? How do you do it when players are able to create their own paths whenever they like and change them however they want? So just like a lot of other things, they would need to have like some sort of new technology to create NPC behavior that's dynamic like that. So I don't know. Per their interview, there will be reasons to leave, come back, and repeat the cycle. They want it to feel like kind of like transmog. You know, it's like, hey, I got this cool sword, and maybe I want to build a set around it. Or maybe I don't care as much, and I'm going to like just kind of like enjoy like this set that I have for like a long time. But at the moment, when it comes to like utility, player power, and all that stuff, nope, they put their foot down on that pretty hard. I just like having options to do a quest on it all, so I don't have to buy it again. Well, I guess it depends on the cost too. You know, if it's not too expensive, I'd rather use my time. I'd rather not, you know, use my time on it, at least. Having both options, I guess that would be cool too. But I have a feeling that it's going to be a one-time unlock, and then afterwards you get like a bag of gold instead, something like that. And I'm on Wowhead. Yay, I'm on Wowhead. Oh, we can export houses at Geometry for other software, so we can characters. I've recorded 3D design software that I would love to export my house and do a photorealistic. Oh, that'd be cool. That would be very neat. So what kind of thumbnails did they do on this? Let me see. So that's classic Dratnos shots. They've solved housing. All of us were very impressed. I'll tell you that. We played it. First time impressed. I should have showed my face too. Yeah, what sort of O face should I have made? Maybe I should have made. No, I didn't want to do that because I just want to show the house. Who cares how I look? Fuck that. But yeah, I'm gonna be watching all these because I want to see if there's anything like different that they had asked or anything different that we had learned. I feel like I did decent because I feel like yeah. I guess you might not know what I had asked, but the big thing was dies actually. I feel like I got good information on like the die system. So real quick on that. Dyes are going to be a consumable thing. You know, so we can dye our furniture, we can change the color and all that stuff, but they're consumable. So whoever makes dyes is going to make money. You feel me? Because if people want to paint all their entire house like, and all the decor like orange, cool. You know, go to either the NPC who's selling it, or the rep vendor, or the profession person who's making it, and you know, and have at it. Now, what's going to be different about this is when you dye a thing, it becomes a unique item. So if you have like a bunch of chairs and you color one of the chairs like blue, then it's like, okay, now you have a bunch of chairs and a blue chair because it's unique, and you're going to see that reflect in the inventory. So we're going to be asking ourselves, okay, do I want to have like multiples of the same chair, or do I want to replace the colors? And you might end up telling yourself, fuck it, I'm just going to buy more chairs. They're cheap, whatever. And then I'll just paint all these different chairs however I like. So now I have like 5 blue chairs, 4 red chairs, and so on and so forth. Now you can replace the colors on these chairs as well, just like anything else, but then you lose what you had before. So that's why I kind of encourage, for like cheap stuff, just get more. That seems like easy. I know talent senders are ironic about these thumbnails, but I still dislike it that they're playing on these dramatic reaction thumbs are just horrible. I mean, well, it seemed pretty clear. We played it, right? Yeah. I'd say this is the most baity one, right? Blizzard has solved housing. I think they did a really good job. But if we're going to do a thumbnail rating, I would say the most tame ones are, hands-on experience, straightforward. First-hand impressions, straightforward. And then we go into bait territory. But that's me. You don't like the O faces? I like yours because no face. No face. You know what that means though, right? Low self-esteem. Yep. I was just messing. I'm extremely vain. Looks like main quest line involved. I doubt it. I didn't get to ask that directly, but that was something that I wanted to bring up as a concern. Like, okay, I don't want it to be like an MSQ sort of thing where it's like you gotta do it or else. Let's see, where am I missing? Isn't it true you only get 1 Alliance house and 1 Horde house per account? Yes. Inscriptionist, they call them scribes, sir. Let's not be barbaric here. I thought there was going to be a housing profession. No, they changed their minds on it. I didn't get to. It wasn't an appropriate question to ask because that's technically a profession question, and the people that we talk to are the people who make like the nitty-gritty building side of housing, if that makes sense. So I'm like, okay, fair enough. So there are a lot of questions that I wanted to ask that I couldn't because I knew that I would get a bunch of non-answers for it. And especially given the limited time we had, I'm like, I ain't gonna waste time like not asking stupid shit. Blizzard shocked us with player housing. Oh my god. I do talk so much crap over the past few years and does commentary for the Race to World First. Now, keep in mind that Race to World First is a community thing, not a Blizzard thing. But whatever the case, like that's what I was talking about earlier when it comes to like how content creators like make stuff versus like how fans feel about it, and how there's like this kind of tribalism, and sometimes we can just gotta step away and remember, oh, it's just a game, right? So like these days, Preach doesn't really do much MMO stuff at all. Like he'll he's very chill about it, playing like a casual, like a mole person, whatever. I mean, I think he still plays at a high level, but nothing like that crazy. Let's see. Played a game where you needed skill to die something and had a chance to fail, making the hot pink. I guess the big thing, instead of like, oh, why was this person invited and not this person or whatever, let's just focus on me. I got in, baby. Yeah, I'll just mess up. MMO Champion has a bullet point thing. Cool. Oh, yeah, I'll look at that. I still want to watch it. Let's see. MMO champion. MMO champion. I know it's here somewhere. Okay, cool. I still have their link thing set up. Okay. So they talk to same people I talked to. So I also talked to Toby and Jay. Jay was the one who like did like the demo that I talked about, like that half-hour demo. Fuck, he's good. I was telling the actual housing lead. His name is Jesse Kalanchik. I was telling him, dude, you need to have Jay just make a video. Or take that video and upload it. Like it'll get like a bajillion hits and people will get fucking stoked. Because all it is, he was just kind of talking through the process and he was just building that whole restaurant thing that I was telling you about. Like it was fucking good. He should have recorded that thing or streamed it or whatever. Okay, the team. Okay, we'll just read along together because I'm wanting this too. Okay, team started playing with prototypes early on, using them to inform what things they needed to add or change. They also played other games with housing like WildStar and 14. Neighborhoods are zone-sized social spaces. Some new tech was added to make neighborhoods unique, expressed by the players that live there. The team worked to accommodate all sorts of players with differing expectations of how their neighborhood would work. The team wanted to start with the core fantasy for players and expand from there. When new patches come out, the design team will look through the new assets to pick up to add to housing. Garrisons were an isolated experience, and the team was determined to not recreate that. Neighborhoods exist to bring people together. There'll be reasons to leave and come back and repeat the cycle. It'd be a disaster if players came in, decorated their house, and had no reason to come back to it. Yeah, so I think some of the information here, like that came from, because we had like this whole roundtable thing, and some of these statements seem familiar too. Housing won't be standalone, needs to synergize with the rest of the game. The team talked about upraising 2004 assets, but decided against it, allowing players to lean into the nostalgia if they want. It's funny because like they do need to go through like a porting process for some of those old assets, because it's like, hey, here's like this old chair. Cool, it should be easy. And Blizzard's like, wait, slow down. If you turn over the chair, like under the feet, there's nothing under the feet. So they have to like go back and fill some of that stuff in because not all assets are complete. It's not so different from how, when flying became a thing in Cataclysm, they had to add tops to like the trees and all that stuff, because before the illusion was, well, no one's ever going to see this. Let's go ahead and let's just leave it alone. But then they had to fix it. So kind of the same thing. But from what they said, they have, they're setting things up so that the conversion process will be easy, and it's, of course, an ongoing process. Players shouldn't be forced to go and run old content for rewards, and the team is thinking about how that'll work. For example, if you've already gone through a dungeon, maybe there'll be a vendor outside that sells the item you would have earned from running the dungeon the first time. Like, so that's what they mean about like, yeah, I avoided asking rewards-based questions. Team talked about what would happen if they allowed PvP in the house and players could build their own arenas. Yeah, I was big on this one too. I was like, yo, dude. Because they said the housing by default, it would be a sanctuary. You can't PvP, you can't duel. I'm like, yo, you got to change that. You got to make it so, like, maybe the other rooms can be like non-PvP, they could be sanctuary, but when you go into like this other room, then it's on, then you're flagged or whatever. Then you can duel, then it's like a free-for-all or something like that, because that'd be sick. It would be very, very neat if there was like a big PvP neighborhood. And then people were there, they were just fighting and like they were staging their own like tournaments and all that stuff. That'd be pretty sick. That'd be very, very cool if, players just made their own arena. And they made their own arena matches. And, you could see like this really cool growth for the devs to see and be like, oh, maybe we'll do something different for rated PvP and all that stuff. So it creates this space for not just feedback, but more like feedback put into practice. Like, hey, what are players doing? What can we rip from that and call it our own? That sort of thing. Toolset that allow players to build the house is all new tech. It isn't Blizzard just releasing an internal toolset. The team did consider players that want to find a neighborhood with people that have a similar mindset and did work to accommodate that. They want to reach as many players as possible with the feature. The team is going to have semi-prefab rooms available for players who don't want to start with a blank slate. It'll have some of the cosmetic things already in place. Cool. Team has done a lot of work to make player housing possible. The engine couldn't have handled it a long time ago. Housing is a significant technical feat. I agree, because like the amount of stuff that you're able to cram in there is nuts. Like you can create. I tried to create a singularity, and I just kept adding stuff. In like I told you about the rugs, I just kept adding stuff in one spot. I'm like, all right, let's see, let's just fucking keep going, and I kept going, and then I got bored, and then I stopped, and it didn't break. So I was pretty impressed. Team's still working on finding the best balance when it comes to utility offered in a house. There's no power gain from houses, but there may be some utility gain. They don't want players to be 100% self-sufficient in their house. One thing that they were coy about talking about, or they were cagey, is if there isn't going to be a house utility, is there going to be a neighborhood utility? Because like we go back to this B-roll here, and not like the start here, you see people walking around like doing some stuff. Like these houses are, I don't know if this is supposed to be representative of anything, but it seems like there might be like other non-player houses that are here as well. Because it's like, okay, obviously this is too small of a lot to be like an actual player house. This might just be someone's house, and there's like activities and quests that are going on here that if you choose to like come here, cool, you can do it. And I do recall from the Friday panel, they were talking a little bit about player housing and how they wanted to have this thing where you do a quest, you save a dude, and then the dude shows up in your neighborhood for a while and he gives you shit. I don't know what kind of shit. It might just be things that feed back into housing specifically. It might be a food buff, or it might be a resource that does something. I don't know. But then after a while, you don't see the guy in your house, and then all of a sudden, like, you can do that quest again to help him out, and then he'll come back again. I recall there was something like that effect going on. And if it sticks to that, then I think that would be kind of cool. I would just want these things to just kind of feed back into housing, not to be like an entirely separate game mode, but I don't want to feel like I have to do housing. I don't want it to feel like one of the chores that I do in order, for my weekly thing, because hey, I'm trying to get some gear or whatever. All right. Boop. All right, let me get caught up with chat. You fucking guys. Inscriptionista, inscribologists. I like that. Inscribologists. What else did we? I think I saw scribologists. What about a scribber? Scribber sounds good. Scribber sounds great. It's just a game, but then we're here all day watching people play and talk about the game, and then when we play the game, so it becomes much bigger than just a game. At some point, though, we feel so emotionally into it that at some point you gotta be like, ooh, you gotta skirt, put on the brakes, and just kind of do a quick mental check. Make sure that you're okay. There are folks that definitely love the game. No doubt. Next time after House of Blizzard gives us our own mobile homes, aka pirate ships, then the houses can PvP the houses. That'd be dope. I want an HOA. I'm likely gonna do some private neighborhood stuff. Like, I'll definitely do one for the guild. I'll do one for the guild, and if there aren't too many people that care about it, then I'll open it up for like whoever. But then, like the other house, maybe I'll do like a public channel thing, or I'll just go public and I'll just like kind of put myself out there and venture out. Is it like the creation engine? You can pick up and move a bucket and put it on a table, etc. Yeah. So like, where's a good screenshot? Here we go. Here's a good screenshot. So like, for example, this table here has a book and a mug and some other stuff on here. If I select this table and I lift it up and I move it somewhere, all these things that are on the table, they're gonna go with it. So they hook in. Know what I mean? Now, if I were to take that table and turn it over, it's not like all these things are gonna fall off. So there's no someone had asked, and at one point the team was considering having gravity play into it. You know, as in all these things would have like a physics thing to it, but then I think early on they're like, nah, fuck it, let's focus more on like the fantasy of just letting people like place things however they like. Excuse me while I scream and cry and piss and shit because you got to play housing and I didn't. It was fun. What if housing gave you a buff? I don't know, but it doesn't sound like they're going to. I'm hoping our houses will have like a mine and herb garden where we can collect materials, maybe a mission table, kind of like Legion and Shadowlands had. They were quick to say no to that. That seemed to be one of the few things that they put their foot down on. So no, they don't want to be. They don't want players to decide between the city and their house. So it's not creation engine. I'm not sure what you're talking about. You like table missions? I like the gold from table missions, that's for sure. I'm sure a lot of other people did too. Hell yeah. All right, let me see what if Wowhead has summarized. Or let me do a refresh. Did they do any other summaries yet? Ah, okay. Buffed did an article. Cool. Housing will be integrated into your entire game and almost all content. It'll let you flex a little bit, displaying trophies. Getting your house involves paying a little bit of gold, doing an intro quest, and getting some standard basic items. You can go to cities and buy different furniture for the house, such as furniture from Ironforge. You'll be able to revisit old content for furnishing, such as Grizzly Hills or a bearskin rug, for Karazhan for some flying books. Professions will craft items for your home, and you can specialize in doing so. Special items can be crafted if you have certain achievements. Some professions may get utility items in their house, but the team wants to be careful to avoid giving players too much and end up like garrisons. There's currently no room limit, but eventually there'll be a house level that limits the amount of rooms you can have. Okay, yeah, so I guess that was a placeholder, because I saw that there was like 10, and like there's a limit of 10 rooms, but then when I got to like 30, I was like, okay, is there a limit? Let's see. But there will be a house level that limits the amount of rooms you can have. Okay. Placing items in your house pulls them out of a special box, and they are items. Once you place the table, it's no longer in the box. You have to get another one or move the first one. Oh, I guess by that they mean you can move stuff back into your box. You don't lose items. The only thing that you would lose would be dies. Scaling is kind of scary in housing because you can make things like really, really big, and it feels very disorienting. I'm hoping it's not in there yet, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to like select multiple items and then scale all of them up at once. That would be very helpful. There's a lot of UI stuff. There's a UI person. She was like jotting like hella shit down as we were just like prattling on about like different things. Players in the demo built jumping puzzles. That was me. Mazes with hidden doors and a hallway of spinning windmill blades. Daito will let players change the color on assets that have been rebuilt to support it. An object can have multiple parts with different colors, like wood versus metal parts of a box. Buff mentioned that transmog players would love a die system as well, with the team giving them a smile and telling them that they're aware. Yeah, I did the same thing. If you're unhappy with your neighborhood, you may be able to abandon your house, move somewhere else, and build a new one. I want to move my house. I want to be able to do that. Neighborhoods may have quests, some kind of marketplace, and will have seasonal events. They'll also have a garden with a screenshot from the event showing a mount inside a shed. There will be no items that you purchase in-game and in the shop. Huh? There will be no items that you purchase in-game and in the shop. Not quite sure what that means. Can you make the Oni hard large so it can be the entrance to a new room? There's I don't recall the collision with the Onyxia head, but there is collision with most of the items. Okay, so they have two interviews done so far. They're still transcribing. Faster! I need more bullet points. Rah! Alright, so I guess we'll wait for more as they come in. Yay! Are you able to combine objects and save them? I know you haven't played Zelda Tears yet, but something like that in game where you can save creations, like exports and stuff. No, not yet. I haven't seen it. I missed the pet charms from the table. Yeah, Goose is right. You can still get the pet charms from the Shadowlands mission table. As a follow-up to my one house per faction question, do you also only get one house per faction in private neighborhoods? Yes, it's just one house. One house per faction. That's it. 2 houses total on your whole ass BattleNet account. So not even WoW account. Your whole BattleNet account. So for those of you who have like a bajillion and a half characters, kind of sucks. But at the same time, these houses don't fuck around. They're big. These are big houses. I mean, I know it's not enough anyway, but just saying, they're very big. Just watch the housing stuff. Still not my thing, but I definitely see the value for the people who are going to interact with it. Hey, Crab. I'm very excited about it. It was cool to check out, man. It's in. I think they mean it's either bought in game or in the store, but not both. Okay, cool. That's what they meant. Yeah, because I was thinking to myself, well, things that have shown up on the store can eventually show up in the trading post. So, you know, the things get kind of blurry when we consider the trading post and how things eventually show up there. That's where my confusion came from. So, yeah, that might clarify it. Thanks. So, all right. It was funny. Like after the 30th anniversary event was over, you know, people were shuffling out of the club, and I was just kind of sitting. I was waiting for a couple of folks to get out, so we could all just go out for some extra drinks. I was standing around with someone, I don't know who they were, but we were just chatting it up because he's a Boston local, so we're just talking about the city. I'm like, oh, it's a great city, and blah blah blah. A WoW developer comes up, and we're chatting, and now we're all chatting for a little bit. And towards the end of the conversation, he's like, "So you go into the thing on Monday?" And here I am, I'm standing with just a viewer or whatnot. I'm like, yeah, even though I'm not supposed to say so. And then the dev was like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah, you know, the Monday pole dancing class. Yeah, pole dancing. It's gonna be amazing. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be cool. And like the dude was just laughing. I'm like, it's funny. Oh, but yeah, the experience was very neat. It was very neat. A lot of us were like, as soon as we sat down, we just kind of sort of shut up and were locked in. You know, developers were going around, they were asking questions, and or they were encouraging us to ask questions and whatnot. Preach and I were sitting next to each other, and both of us were just like quietly, you know, just messing around with shit, figuring stuff out. Any chance about battle pets in the house? They didn't give a good answer for it, or not a very satisfactory answer for it. They talked about the challenges, though. One guy, they talked about the challenges of having NPCs or pets or whatnot pathing through areas, but also they pointed out that when it comes to pathing, how do you do it when players are able to change the pathing like on the fly? So they need to, it alluded to them needing to make new tech just so they can have like pets walking around, with respect to the possibility of your entire house being upside down, or your house being nothing but like like you can walk into the house, you go up a flight of stairs, and then everything is like separated by like floating tables and stuff, and you have to jump your way across everything. It might be that stupid. So like can you have pets in the house like that? And how would they interact? Would they all just be kind of like stuck in this like one spot? I feel really bad. I'd be like, oh no, poor pets. I'd be very butthurt over that. All right. I think I'm caught up. Fuck yeah. Bum, bum, bum. What I need is the mobile app back. Too bad about the app. I remember those days. Those days are over, unfortunately. Okay. So I think we're good. I think we're good. That was everything. Yeah. So what do you guys think of the housing and stuff? I really want them to like start talking about like neighborhoods and shit. Because when every time we asked about neighborhoods, they gave like a very minimal answer, and like they were like, "We'll tell you more soon." I'm like, "Yo, are we talking soon? Like Thursday at 10 a.m. or what?" Because I want to know mostly about that. I think that's the last big remaining question: is how are neighborhoods going to work, functionality, and all that stuff. Outdoor decor, we kind of have a good idea. You know, we've seen the outside. It looks like we could just do a good bit of stuff. I don't know how extensive it's going to be. Like, can I make a giant swastika? I don't know. But I talked about that a lot too. Not during an interview. Like, I was having lunch with a bunch of them. And I was describing like, yo, we're gonna see a bunch of like dicks and all sorts of other stuff. So, you know, good luck. But then I also brought up like, yo, you're gonna have someone's gonna do this. Watch, they're gonna have like a whole bunch of like different decor and have like shapes and all this stuff put together, and it looks super random. But then if you like angle yourself in the right way, it's like boom, giant penis, or like, or it'll have like some sort of like nasty statement or a dick, yeah, something like that, and like, and they're like, oh yeah, yeah, was basically their response to that. I want to display my pets in cages stacked on top of each other. That sounds horrifying. Almost finished with the Shadowlands meta. Looking forward to the new league. Oh yeah, you know, I want to take a look at that real quick. I want to see if there is a if there was an update to that. I want to see if the meta had changed. Excited for it. There's a lot of potential for growth in the system. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, just like as it is, it already feels like this kind of infinite content sort of thing. Like once you have the pieces that you want, then it's like, okay, what do you do now? Or how do you put it together? And sky's the limit, man. You can do crazy, crazy shit. Yeah, so I'm very, very looking forward to it. So it's instance. Yeah, it's instance. I mean, that's the point. I mean, I think that if it wasn't instance, like, I wonder how that would end up turning out. Like, how would you yeah, you'd have to template all that and... Now, I do wonder, like, with the neighborhoods, like, how instanced or how separated is that going to be? Like, if I'm in a neighborhood and I'm at a high elevation and I look down, like, how much of the other person's house do I see? Do I see like everything that they had done on the outside, or do I see like, or is it just too far? Am I not going to see it? I want to be able to like see the whole thing. But as for the inside, now I think from a practical standpoint, I don't think it would be reasonable to try and have like a 1-to-1. I can see my entire house, like, kind of thing, because that would be really annoying too. I feel like I would be really annoyed if I had to, you know, one, make the inside of the house the way I want to, but then I'd have to like make that work on the outside too, because otherwise it's going to look like this big blocky amalgamation of whatever, and I'd have to reshape that to make it fit. Or like the windows would need to be placed on the outside correctly, and that would be kind of weird. But yeah, And this just makes it like easier. Okay, so I'm on here because I wanted to look for the achievements. So, something. Oh, here. Duh. Oh, it's not here. Thought it was here. Is it gone? What was the achievement called for Legion? Oh, it was removed. Bitch. Well, never mind. Okay, so that was from yesterday. See, telling you, I need to get caught up. Oh, you're talking about why would that matter? So like, I guess for example, like in the neighborhood, if it's a public neighborhood and then people just wandered into your house, I'm pretty sure that wouldn't sit right. Or, you know, what if we go, you know, instead of just a dick, what if it was like some racial epitaph or something like that? Because you'd be able to do that too. You can definitely spell some shit out. Like, hold up, where's that one shot? Like, this room is not small. It's a pretty big room, and you can take blocks and you can just write stuff that you want. So that would be very egregious, you know. Very easy to see. But if people report stuff, then people report stuff. So that's what Winky's talking about. He's talking about like the reporting side of things. Like, you know, if it's your personal house, can you do what you want in there? And I'm guessing that TOS might change slightly for it, but I'm sure you can't do like anything you want. So I imagine if you create a public and private neighborhood, it would just use your house regardless. Well, from my understanding, you can't have both a public and private neighborhood, or like you would have a public neighborhood for one house and then a private neighborhood for the other house, and that's it. But it's instance one we have to get invited to see. That I'm not sure about. Yeah. So it could be, you know, when it comes to a public neighborhood, maybe you can. So, and because of that, I don't think they're going to make that distinction. Like, oh, well, you know, it's a private neighborhood, so anything goes. I don't think it'll work like that. It's like if you're just talking to someone in guild and you're saying, "Hey, what's up?" You know, and just just spouting off all sorts of racist shit. You can't just say, "Oh, well, it's in guild." It doesn't count. Yeah, that won't work. I'm sure they're gonna maintain some sort of consistency and, you know, just try to discourage people. Hey, don't, you know, I guess it's one thing to make dicks, right? It'd be another thing to like bring up some really offensive shit, like if some house is gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna recreate the whole KKK in here. Fuck yeah, let's do it. I doubt that's gonna stand. You know, if someone said, hey, vote for Joe Biden, whatever, that's, no one's gonna care about that. But if someone were to say, oh, let's murder him, you know, that's gonna, yeah, I think there's some pretty distinctive lines that can be crossed, right? Okay, so no achievement there. Yeah, maybe they are pulling it for the Legion remix, because like that's my thought. It's like I'm not excited about doing the meta achievement knowing that the remix is coming, which kind of sucks because it's like, okay, now there's like, you know, a little bit less to do, but I guess I want to feel like I want to focus on War Within stuff anyway. If someone was something really bad, end up provoking people, then it should be normalized to report them, I'd say. Yeah. I mean, it kind of sucks that, you know, we live in a WoW where people can like report stuff, or they can mass report and like get you banned and stuff like that. That shit sucks. That's stupid. But I mean, what can you do? All right. Oh, we got plenty of time left. Okay, so where can I go? Real quick. Because this shield, waiting for the shield has been a big disappointment. If I'm farming wild gold for the next expansion, I just need 5 more tokens. 5 more tokens. Right on, dude. For those who are able to, you know, for those who do have the time to, you know, spend some time farming or making gold, whatever, I do recommend, you know, having like a little bit of a nest egg of BattleNet balance, just for the sake of, ooh, what if something drops? You know, what if it's a new expansion that drops? What if there's a platinum Brutosaur that breathes fire and flies and shit? You know, then you'll at least have like something to hold on to. They're a private company that can do whatever policy they want, but it just seems a waste of time to stuff. It's an example. Let's put the brakes on it. I'm just making one example. Dicks, swastikas, whatever, you know, reportable things. People are gonna do it, and it's crazy because, you know, player housing, it creates this very open canvas for user-generated content that we haven't seen in this game. It's cool, but it comes with caveats, right? 1 token a month is a great start for people to do. I mean, whatever you can do, you know? Like, think of it like this. Expansion comes out almost every 2 years, 18 months, something like that. If you can get enough, if you can generate enough gold to buy the WoW tokens to get each one, then, you know, that's a thing. That helps. And if you feel like you're surpassing that, you're getting past that, it's like, all right, cool. Let me see if I can pay for my shit every month. Oh. But, you know, we're very much like walking the line of WoW feeling like a day job. So I'm doing all these things just so I can make gold, just so I can keep playing the game. So I'm really only saving like $15 or so a month. Is that really worth it? For some people, no. For other people, though, who live in other countries where the cost of a WoW sub feels much more than the equivalent of $15, then for them it's like, no, there is no choice. Like, you know, I can spend some time here because I need to make like that much more gold. Why keep money in balance if you can just link your bank card with way more money in case you need to buy stuff? Hopefully not another Brutosaur. Some people want to feel like they're, you know, getting a little bit of extra out of it, but there's a line to cross. You know, if it feels like you're doing more in game than you would just, you know, working an extra hour at your job or whatever, you know, that makes a difference. But some people also like that. They also have a bit of that sense of pride of, well, I don't have to pay for this. Some people are like, fuck it, I'll just, you know, I make enough money, I'm fine. I haven't bought an expansion with money since WoD and haven't paid a sub with money since 2020. Yeah, ever since the WoD token behavior thing, I've been riding all the old glyph money that I made over the years. Kind of nice. Just saying, if it's instanced, I don't see how that matters. Well, if you get reported and banned, then you can make your case. Saw you in Boston, but you didn't say hi. Oh, you should have. Especially if I was just like standing alone, all awkward and shit. Where'd you see me? I refuse to pay any extra money for transmogs or mounts. Well, I do. Like if I slip, I'll try to maintain like that whole 6 month status, so you can get like the free mounts and stuff. Um, I've been you know, sometimes I fell off on that, and then I would re-up it. You know, grr, here's my money and all that. Pay 5 million gold for the Brutosaur at the end of BFA. No regrets. I remember I paid 5 million gold at the start. Felt good. Felt real good. Okay, I shouldn't be here. By the bar near Italian. Oh, okay. So you saw us when a bunch of us like went after the anniversary thing. Yeah, I was already hella tired. I was tired, and my wife was gonna fly out the next morning, and I didn't want to be out very late. I wanted to go back and spend some time with her before she flew out. So I was gone by like midnight or something like that. Some nice folks there. Like I don't know who it was that bought drinks, but they bought a round of drinks for everybody. I'm like, sweet. Only thing I didn't like was those panda mounts for $70. I was like, fuck that. Oh yeah. Like these days, like notice that I tend to not talk about shop mounts, or I don't really say, hey, look guys, here's what's out. Like to me, that's my power as a consumer. Or even as a creator. Like I'm like, for me, it's like, they're there, but I'm not gonna put any fuel in there. I'm not gonna give them any momentum. I'm not even gonna talk shit, because as far as I'm concerned, talking shit is like free marketing. So like it's there, you want it, get it, you don't, whatever. It's not a big deal. You're at the circle where the food menu was. The circle where the food menu was. I don't remember a food menu. I was like by that place where there were like some games, and I just kind of like camped there the whole time. So I didn't really move. When I did move, that was me on the way out. That was about it. Yeah, I felt like kind of a mooch there, but oh well. Here we will. Okay, I want to see. Where can I go real quick? I got some time. Oh, I wanted to check Unarmed Plains. That's where I can go. Curious now how the new Draenei settlement's going to turn out, and I really hope gnomes get a proper new home if they don't retake Nomagon proper. Yeah, well, if not, then they could just stay at the gnome champion that you got. They could just stay at their house. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, you're talking about inside the anniversary event. Okay, I thought you were talking about the bar we went to afterwards. Yeah, for the most part, I was in that area. Like I was like between the hat thing and the bar. That was where most of my time was. And then sometimes I was like, okay, I got to move my legs a little bit, so I would like take a lap up and down, see a couple people, come back, camp. See what Taliesin's up to, surrounded by people. I'm like, all right, cool. Ride the coattails. Gnome Paladin one day? Yeah, fuck yeah, why not? Why not? We're pretty much there. We're just waiting for them to be like, yeah, fuck it. Well, you know, next race or next class for all races. Gnome Paladin, boom. Or Paladins for all, Shaman for all. It's gonna happen. It was never felt weird because I never interacted with anyone who plays WoW role. Did you say hi to anybody? Or did you just like chum up with random folks? And because that's cool too. To me that's scary. To me that's like super out the box, like kind of socializing, not the kind of thing that I'd ever do. But still very cool. No, nothing at all. Damn it. So I think even if I like try to do the daily here or do the weekly here, I need to like get the stupid keys and all that shit. And I know I don't have that. You did the tier list with S-Fan? Oh, the one that was like downstairs. I think I remember that. I was walking right by. I was disappointed at that whole quiz show thing. I was pissed. I'm like, I should have went up there. I might have won. I might have won. Like, so there was like a little quiz thing during the anniversary event, and one of the first questions, I think it was the first question, was, what is the race that is blah blah blah, and the answer was the Quillbor, and spelling counted, and there was hella people that spelled Quillbor with 2 L's, and like when the person asked the question, like D looks at me, she's like, what is it? I'm like, Quillbor, 1 L. Because I already knew that people were going to fuck up the spelling on that one. And they did. Like, I think the first question, they were already down to 2 people. I'm like, you disappointed. You guys, how dare you? Okay, yeah, I think I need to do the keys first, and then I can unlock the dailies, which is like, okay, this is a non-starter for me. I'm not going to do these, man. Maybe I can do these at least. Okay, I can do one of them, some of them. But I just want to find the thing that gets me a goddamn shield. So like here, there's another one. Yeah, like you and... Oh, no, that's not you. It's you. Nope. And... Nope. And... All disappointment, baby. He's much taller than I thought he'd be. Lamau, he got like right in front of me when I showed up. Didn't realize it. Everyone's tall. That's one thing I definitely learned. I'm like, wow, I didn't know Preacher was that tall. I knew Taliesin was that tall, and like Dratnos is tall, and like, yeah, everyone's big. Everyone's larger than life, and I'm like, just little guy, yo. There's this, I think it was a French dude. He was my size. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna hang out with you. Quentin, I think his name was. Nice guy. Very talkative, but in a good way. Boo PTR saying the Lore Walking Quest is going to explore Dementius. Whatever the fuck, this should be a full-blown expansion sort of thing. Maybe we'll see more of it, dude. That'd be kind of cool. Chatwood Taliesin got a guild because of the band sweatshirt I was wearing, and then a couple of under randoms. Nice. Bought the Brutal at the end of BFA because I raised the gold over the course of 8 months or so before the option to buy was disabled. Or an herb farming 2k gold emissary. Gold does add up. For people who are like working at it and they just want to like do it chill and slowly, like you'll be fine, and you will be able to eventually get like some WoW token money, or at least put yourself in a good spot where you don't have to worry too much about gold. All right. So nothing there either. And then I think this next thing ain't gonna happen for a while. No, that's not it. It was like here, I think. Oh, I got the event thing. Duh. Events. Oh, that's right. It doesn't show. I remember at one point this showed other expansions. Kind of sucks that it only shows Kezalgar. I really wanted to like show more. I think at one point, I believe at one point early in the PTR that introduced this feature, you're able to see everything. Well, not everything. You're able to see Dragon Isle stuff too. So I'd love to see that. But Blizzard did nerf the World Class Gold because in Dragonflight it was like 10 to 12 per weekly cycle on Wednesdays and Fridays. I mean, you still get like a decent amount depending on the week. Now and War Within. Let's see, what is it right now? War Within. What is it at the moment? It is pathetic. Okay, so that's sad. Some weeks are pretty good though. The stuff you get from the racing, it's not like that great. But there are some weeks where I'll see like, oh, it's like 1,000 some gold. I'm like, that's not bad. Or, I'm sorry, not 1,000, like 10,000 some gold. Because you see like a whole shitload of these. But and then who knows what other events or whatnot we might see. I mean, right now the Dragon Isle stuff, that's been like gutted, right? Yeah, so we get like at most this much. But meanwhile, like doing one quest. And this is, what is this one? Speak to the Steam Weirdo Alchemist. I don't know what that one is. So is that an Undermine thing? Looks like an Undermine thing. Yeah, I don't know what that one is. But that's like an easy, you know, just get on an alt, hop on over, do stuff. Boom. Found out that World Quest Gold is also based on your item level. Ooh, that's interesting. I want to see it. Let's see. All my alts suck. I want to see how much gold there is. Yeah, if it's 625 and 650, there's different quests. Oh. Well, now I'm curious. Yeah, most of my alts are sub 625. Let's see what they happen to see. Like this guy. Actually, this guy's worse. Yeah, I don't remember that quest either. Like, I know there's like the one where you're like disarming mines or something like that. I know that one. All right. So what does this dude see? I see. Okay, I didn't really tell the difference. I was just looking at the gold one, but same gold. What's his item? 601 is what he's at. 624 is the stuff in his bags. So I can't really tell the difference here. Were there more races? I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. Well, this is gonna camp here forever, though. Now that he doesn't have to go back to, what is it? AQ ruins? Different classes get totally different rewards in War Within. I've been getting 800 gold rewards from World Quest quite often, and golden within quest chests and Paragon chests could be massive. No, gold is there. You just gotta, you know, put the work in. I'm still gonna be very curious what's gonna happen when they do classic warlords. Well, one, are they gonna do classic warlords? And if they do classic warlords, is the garrison going to be as lucrative as it was before? I have a feeling it won't be. Like, the bonding on that's going to be freaking insane. All right. So what am I going to look for today? That was a failure. I think I'm out of shields to look for right now. So I'll settle for tier. So what tier did I not look at yet? I think it was Nighthold that I can go to. The Nighthold. Oh. But I'm still not entirely sure which things I need to get. It's not quite saying it. Yeah, I can't tell. Motherfucker. Classic Warlords would just be raid logging and PvPing. I mean, that is kind of it. Oh, here's where I'll go. I'll go to goddamn. Oh no, I think I did do that earlier. Yeah, I did do Dragon Souls. I did Dragon Soul Raid Finder, but I didn't do normal and heroic. But I think I can only do one anyway. And all the same boss? Really? Oh, no, Raid Finder I need more. But then this one, I need Shoulders, which I believe is Ultraxian. No, not Ultraxian. That's like someone else. Alright. I kind of don't want to go there, though. It's like a special kind of hell. But I think it really is just this and that. Yeah, so I need to understand this better. I feel like I'm failing here. So here's Nighthold. It says that I have 8 of 9 pieces. So like that's fine. But then this says I only have 8 of 9, and I don't know what I'm missing. So how do I know what I'm missing? Then again, this is Legion stuff. So should I really give a shit too? Yeah, maybe I shouldn't, because that's going to be like a big waste. So I guess I am going to go to Dragon Soul. Whoa. Yeah, we're doing classic time walking now. I don't think I need to do that at all. Actually, how much time walking shit do I have? Because there's going to be like all that extra stuff to get too. I got 12K. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's enough to get like the new stuff coming in the later patch. So maybe I'll do time walking. I don't know. Let's go to Dragon Soul. Yeah, I didn't do that Garrison PvP arena, but like the free for all. Yeah, I know what you're talking about there. One thing I learned from Mystery Mix is that it was a great opportunity to get things you couldn't get previously, like the Ordos thing and the various collectibles. I hope with Legion Remix that continues. Try farming Dragon Soul and 20 else for the mounts? Nope. I'll do my 1 a week things. My sanity is way more important than getting mounts. Shields, different story, but not really. I'm not going to stress over it that much, man. Let's see, 22 minutes. Yeah, so I think I'll probably do a round of like vision stuff offline, but I also want to write the weekly and yeah, get thoughts together. Shield so breezy. I'll go with Soul so shieldy. I like that one. Gotta keep the soul in there, no? Wow. Oh no. Failed. Ah. Alright, we're back to cruising. We good? Might as well just have shields on the walls. Oh, dude, that's what I want. As soon as we get like the whole shield rack thing, yeah, guaranteed. Where do I go again? So this way. All right, you're right. Okay, so I think I did Raid Finder, right? Yeah, I did Raid Finder, so now I just need the other two. And I'll do 25. And let's double check again. Like, who do I need to kill? Shoulders. I forget who drops that. All the things, la la la. My Shield Hall of Fame room. Oh, I'd love to just like line them up in like a border. Shields on the door, you know? That'd be sick, actually. Alright, so... Cataclysm, Dragon Soul, Normal Heroic, Black Person, and Spine. Oh, and Spine. Gross. Alright. Oh, a waste for that one? So... Why does it say I'm missing pauldrons for Heroic? Is it because... Are they this... Do they look the same? Is that why? So normal, I need shoulders. Heroic, I need shoulders. All the things is telling me different. I guess they're the same? Is that it? Like, yeah, I guess it's the appearances are the same. How weird that it's not showing both, though. Why is that? I must learn. So... Okay, so they do look different. Wait, are they different between 10 and 25 as well? No. That just resets the animation. Yeah. Okay, so... How odd. So why does it say I don't need both? Oh, actually, no, there's a different shoulders altogether. Shit, never mind. These are different anyway. Okay. So never mind that. But it's still shoulders. But I want the tier stuff. So let me just look for the token instead. So I want... Yeah, so I just want the shoulder boss. Shoulder boss. Legs, shoulders. Hagara. Okay. So Hagara on both difficulties. Cool, let's go. What am I doing first? Heroic. Did BFA currencies like service medals just become transferable with this patch this week or from previous, and I just didn't notice? I think that was... It might have been... Yeah, I'm not sure. Honestly. Couldn't tell you. Alright, let's check if they transcribe more interviews. Let's see, buffed. Okay, so the preach one. Let's see, it wasn't a regular press event, it was small about getting feedback, and people that mostly play the games with other housing were also invited. Yep. Inside and outside aren't connected. You can have as many rooms as you want as long as they are connected. Current item cap for your house is 10,000 items. In the giant house they built for marketing the future, they haven't gone past 2,000 items. Huge items may take several item slots in the live version of the feature, but in general, players shouldn't run to the item cap. The team will have an action bar and favorite, so if you're using one thing over and over, you can bind it to a key. They're working on a history mode. Ah, nice! A history mode, so you can go through the changes you made. Nice. Currently, cloning something you built isn't possible. Spotlights to light things, music in different areas, and lots of things are still being worked on. And there will be some sort of progression system. And that's still all we got. Okay. Come on, MMOC. Hustle! Hustle! Listen faster! Listen faster! Alright. Alright, so I need the shaman person. Kill the shaman person. I wonder what they mean by a progression system, though. That doesn't... I guess progression as in, hey, you can have more levels to the house, or you can make the house bigger. You can add... The room cap is higher, or something like that. That's kind of the guess right now. Kind of wild. So we can supposedly have you know, so many rooms in the house as long as we don't hit the item limit, but we can only have one house per faction. They'll add something to encourage logins and interactions with the new system. I have a feeling, though, it's going to mostly feed into itself because it's just a cosmetic thing. So you know, there might be like for example, you go to the neighborhood, there's a bulletin board. Hey, dude, there's a dude that needs to be defeated, or something like that. You need to go kill a thing. Cool. You go out, you go kill a thing. You come back and you get a decor, or you get some sort of progression thing that slowly, as you like level it up, you can start building more shit on your house, something like that. It could be, and it doesn't have to be a kill thing either. It can be like, hey, can you help me out at my house? You know, NPCs and stuff. Help me out over my house, cause yeah, need help. You get credit. Cool. Could be as simple as that. What if you have to grind for currencies for the housing vendor? I mean, if you think about it like this, like, how do you get housing? All sorts of ways. You find stuff, you craft stuff. How do you craft stuff? With materials. Where do you get the materials? I don't know. So there's going to be a little bit of everything happening. So all characters share the same house because didn't really look into it, only been listening to what you've been saying. Oh, no. I'm just saying, like, but they only want us to only have, like, one house per faction. But they at least they're at least allowing us to have, like, very, very big houses. As if it's a warband house. But that's why, you know, a lot of people have been asking, hey, so can we, like, see our other warband characters in the house? Just, like, chilling, doing their own thing. And there seems to be... like some technical issues that they're that are preventing them from giving like a yes answer for now, at least. Basically a work order. It's a quest, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Public orders are basically quests. It's just all managed by the menu, you know. Skip some steps. I mean, that's what we saw. Remember during Dragonflight, you had the weekly quest to craft a couple of things, a couple of simple things, to be fair, and then you got your weekly credits, you get your skill points and knowledge points or whatever. Yeah. everything, and I wait. I feel like what's really going to have people like locked in is when they're actually sitting down and it's like, okay, build your house. It's like, oh shit. You know, once I feel like once you really like get to experience it, dudes, like that's where you'll feel how daunting it can be. And I feel like it can be intimidating, and I hope that Blizzard is conscious of just what that might feel like for people. Because when we started testing it out, like we had all these unlocks, we had 30 of everything. Like that's really overwhelming. I didn't really get a chance to like look at all the items that are placeable because, you know, again, it's so much. At least when we start playing through ourselves, then we'll be able to like feel, okay, we're earning these things. I'm going to be a lot more conscious of what I'm getting. You know, beyond the initial rush of like, okay, here's all the grandfathered things that I was able to get really fast. But now I know what I'm seeing as I get it. Had a house built in real life, I'm prepared. Yeah. Feel bad with people with ADHD? Maybe, but you know, I think some folks, they'd be able to like shift their focus and be like, dude, they're gonna lock in super hard. All right, so let's do this, and then guildmate wants something made. And then we'll do a little bit of raid prep because I want Gallywix dead tonight. We'll see how we do. You have to wait 2 years for a building permit from the state. Fuck that! I'm the damn champion of Azeroth. I ain't gonna wait for nothing. Hey, shoulders, baby. Woohoo! Give me that. Yeah. Cool. So I completed a set, baby. That's the heroic set at least. So need to do this on normal later too. Woohoo! Getting there. And I'm like, oh, I got tons of not emissary. Paragon shit. Ooh. Pray you don't have to deal with HO in the game. Yeah, don't be part of my neighborhood. I might be like, you need to have like the I Love Soul flag flying at the top of the house. Otherwise, like, no. Oh, I don't see it. Where's his stuff? I'll wait for him to do his thing. He may be a champion of Azeroth, but I have hundreds of champions on my list as well. But I'm the champion of champions, and I have been elected HOA president. Yeah, what kind of whack-ass drama are we going to see from housing? Like, how much are we going to see? Like, dude, my neighbor sucks. My neighbor, like his house looks like crap. What's his name? Soul? God damn it. This shit sucks. No, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be wild. S-Fan, he was asking about you know, like what are the upper limits for housing? It was funny, like He was asking, hey, can we charge a cover for going into my house? You know, can I charge people? And one of the devs was like, you can. That was hella funny. But no, that's a very good question though. Like if you want to have like some sort of party or whatnot, but you want to be like kind of restricted because you know you don't want to just have anyone in there, or it might cause too much lag or something like that. And from what he said, like Final Fantasy 14 does do that. They let you charge a cover to go in. Yeah. You guys are pointing out right now too. That'd be kind of cool. You know, it's not something that's beyond the scope of what I would use player housing for. For me, it's going to be like very personal. I don't really care for it to be like a social experience. But I wouldn't mind going to like some of those places too. They're kind of neat. If houses are instants, there's an instance limit. No more like 40 people max. I don't know. I mean, if you think about it, like the housing instance, like, you know, that's a thing, but it's not like, but one thing is like, okay, do you need to be in a party or raid to do it? Because that would feel very archaic to me if you were limited to like WoW group sizes and stuff. That wouldn't feel right. I feel like, you know, inside the house, there can be like this different sort of limit that you can set, different rules where you don't necessarily have to be in the party with everyone. Because, you know, we're going to see like someone's going to try to make a Goldshire neighborhood. Like a district. Like that'd be that's wild. You'll have like these different houses that have different themes, right? Ooh, man. That's going to make some gold, baby. Back in WoD, people freely shared Harrison for quests with others. It was fun to have guests in your garrison. I offered access to the auction house there as well. Nice. Yeah, I was not that kind. I was like, yep, this is just for me. And screw the rest of y'all. I mean, I was too busy. I was busy with other stuff too. Like I would be working at the time in the office, but I would remote in to my desktop at home, and I would do mission table stuff. So no time for helping out other people. A lag reduction fee? Not quite what I'm talking about. I mean, a lag reduced WoW premium account is like saying, oh yeah, just pay your ISP for like faster speed and no throttling and all that stuff, because, you know, bandwidth is expensive, and, you know, that's not true. No one would do that. I wouldn't buy into it. If anything, it'd be the opposite. It wouldn't be a lag reduction fee. It would be more like a stability fee, and then they would lag everyone, like, period. Everyone would lag, and then they would just pay to undo it. That would suck, man. After Brutosaur, massive sales, some people joke that the cost of the next few expansions is already covered. No, it's not. Nah. It's a lot of money, right? It's a lot of money, but then you got to consider, like, okay, well, what about everyone who pays like the $15 a month? Well, whether it's $15 a month or someone else's $20 if it's a WoW token, whatever. You know, it's a thing, but I don't think it's that big of a thing. I know, like Wowhead and some other places, they put out like some sort of article where they guesstimated like how much stuff, how much money was made, and, you know, that's, I don't know how accurate that is, but that's like that's a thing. Oh, and it's lunchtime. Okay, so it's lunchtime. I got a lot to do. I got video stuff to make for Saturday, horrific vision stuff to eventually do, raid tonight. Yeah. And then like reacting to some of this other stuff, I want to be able to like listen to or see some of the other interviews. So hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I'm going to head out, and I wish y'all a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys for the next thing, and until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, stay breezy. Bye.